Welcome to the ECAC Women's Metro North Division III Final between the Brooklyn College Bulldogs and the Rutgers of Newark Red Raiders. I'm Adam Lockley with my broadcast partner Brock Myers here at the West Quad Gymnasium, and we have a great showdown here this afternoon. Brooklyn College coming off a victory yesterday afternoon over Sage College by the score of 61-55, and Rutgers of Newark with a hard-fought victory over CSI in overtime. They knocked them off 81-75. And I start with my first question for Brock Myers. What does Brooklyn College have to do to be victorious here this afternoon against the Rutgers of Newark Red Raiders?
You know, one of the things that's going to be key in this game is going to be fresh legs.
Yes.
It's going to be a huge thing. You know, when you talk about a team like Rutgers, they're coming off of an overtime victory. That's always killer when you got to go from overtime and play the next day, especially kind of an early afternoon game.
Yes.
Don't know how much time they got off. Another thing to look out for in games like this, you know, it's really interesting. I'm not sure kind of what Rutgers did last night, if they stayed in a hotel or if they went home, but in either situation, you don't always get the best kind of rest.
Yes.
When you're in a hotel bed, it's not the same bed that you're used to, and you can't sleep the same way. Everyone that's been to a hotel knows that. Well, for an athlete, that can really affect you if you're not getting kind of some good sleep. And especially a team coming off of an overtime victory, rest is absolutely key. You've got to get your legs kind of rested as much as possible because you're going to need fresh legs the next day. Now, again, we didn't find out what they did, you know, their travel plans, if they did go home, which was kind of a possibility. Newark being somewhat of a driving distance away, it still took them time to get from the gym last night. They probably, I would imagine, they stuck around and watched the Brooklyn College game, trying to know who their opponent was going to be. Then they got to drive out to Newark and then drive back into Brooklyn.
Yes.
That, again, not really conducive for a lot of rest. So I think watching their legs and seeing how tired they get late in this game is going to be key. If you're Brooklyn, what do you want to do then? You want to get them out and running. You want to get them going up and down the court as much as possible. One of the things I'm looking at, we talk a lot about Brooklyn's three-point shooting. It kind of comes and goes. It's really streaky. But one of the ways they've usually been successful, in particular, has been Vanessa D'Ambrosi.
Yes.
When she gets out in transition, she knocks down those baseline three-pointers. That seems to be when she has her best percentage on three-point shooting. So when you got a team with kind of tired legs, you got a team that really doesn't like running up and down the court much. They like playing out of the half court.
Yeah.
Look for Brooklyn to get out in transition and maybe see Vanessa D'Ambrosi getting some good looks at the three-point line, and if she can knock them down early, it's going to be big for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the importance of rest. As you mentioned, they played an overtime game yesterday afternoon against CSI, and really getting Nicole Francomano out in transition and see if D'Ambrosi's trailing behind, or Chrissy Heyer, who's also a good three-point shooter, is trailing behind. And one thing I like about Coach Alex Lang is that this kind of game really favors him because he's a guy who likes to use his entire 10-man rotation. He's going to try to sub guys in and out of the game to try to take advantage of the fact that Rutgers of Newark, whatever their travel plans were, they're going to be tired because you mentioned a hotel can tire you out, and traveling from Brooklyn, New York, all the way to Newark, New Jersey will definitely tire you out after an overtime affair. So look for him to look to Justine Vento, probably even Karen Mack if she's available, Tawana Holder, you have Jacqueline Grosso, you have Sarah Shanderson. They're such a deep team. Alex Lang loves to get everybody involved, and when he gets everybody involved, this team will get really tired. And they have so many fresh legs, Brooklyn College right now. Active players who love to move without the basketball. Not a stagnant offense. D'Ambrosi, along with her three-pointers in transition, a lot of them come in the half-court offense when she tries to shake open. So look for that to really take place here this afternoon.
Yeah, I definitely also look at for Tiffany Ruiz probably to get a lot of playing time too,
yes,
to allow Coach Lang to go deep into his bench. And, you know, especially if you can get a good lead on this Rutgers Newark team, you're talking about a team that does not shoot well from the perimeter.
Yes.
And again, talking about fresh legs, that's one of the big keys, is that when you've got tired legs, that the biggest thing that affects is your jump shooting, because a lot of the jump shooting comes from your legs, and if you're not at full strength, that takes away a lot of your shot, and you have to use more of your arm, and it just kind of throws off everything you're used to. So a team that, like Rutgers Newark, they are not good from perimeter as far as shooting. If you can get a big lead on them, they're not a team that likes to come back a lot. You know, they had a tough game. They pulled out an upset in the first round of their conference tournament, and give them credit for that. But they're not a good jump shooting team.
Exactly.
They're not a good three-point shooting team.
Right.
And perimeter shooting is always going to be key if you fall behind.
Yeah.
So if the Bulldogs can get a good lead in the first half, if Brooklyn has a really good lead at halftime, that's going to be big because it's going to be a tough for Rutgers to come out. So if you're Rutgers, they're going to want to force their game.
Yeah.
They're going to want to get in the half court. They're going to want to slow things down. They're going to want to get the ball down low to Jade Howard. That's their main scorer. You know, they're really going to work on that because, I mean, as much as they're not good from the three-point line, Cherie Gordon and Jade Howard are both 50% or over 50% shooters from the field.
Yeah.
So that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to have to slow this game down, and they're going to have to do it early on if they're going to be successful tonight.
Yeah, and Brooklyn College coming off a grinded-out win yesterday afternoon against Sage College, 61-55. And in that game, Brooklyn College really struggled in the second half. And when I spoke to Coach Lang after the game, when I interviewed him, my biggest question was, do you guys need to get other people involved to be successful? Yesterday, they only had two guys in double figures, D. Ambrosi and Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell had 24 points, D. Ambrosi had 16 points, and everybody else was a distant third and fourth. So only two players in double figures, and he said definitely we got to get other players involved if we're going to be successful here this afternoon against a good Rutgers of Newark team. So look for, as I mentioned, Chrissy Heyer, I believe only scored 2 or 3 points yesterday, who has been a pretty good scorer this year, whether it be off the bench, whether it be in the starting lineup. So look for other players to get involved. The game started off with Megan Campbell scoring 14 points in the first half. Then D. Ambrosi kind of chimed in and scored 16 points in the game. So I look for those two to be involved, of course, but look for Frank Amano to score in transition to set the tone. And look for Chrissy Heyer, maybe even Sarah Shanderson, who's had her moments of success driving to the basket off the dribble, and Jacqueline Grassa, who is as well a capable three-point shooter.
And another big thing, when you talk about Chrissy Heyer and having her, impact the game, where does she do most of her impact is with tough defense and getting out in transition.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about it all the time because, again, the biggest thing when you're talking about two teams that have two completely different philosophies and how they want to play this game, it's going to be about who forces their pace. Both teams are going to try to do it. I think Chrissy Heyer is going to be very important in the Bulldogs getting out and forcing a transition game because she's good at getting out and getting her hand on the ball, forcing a lot of turnovers, and getting the team out in transition. Also, maybe look for her to take some charges. She's done that a lot this year. So if she can get out there, and also Nicole Francomano is going to be key because anytime you want to get out in transition, it's always got to start with the point guard. Yeah. And Nicole Francomano, being a senior leader, kind of one of the main players on this team that doesn't get talked about a lot, just how important she is, especially when it comes to getting out in transition. She's a great point guard in forcing the fast break.
Yeah, Francomano really sets the tone in transition, always looking for the open man in the fast break. And usually if it's a one-on-one situation, you are in a lot of trouble, especially us expecting Rutgers of Newark to be tired from yesterday's game and from their travel experience. So if whoever can jump out first, I think will be successful. Brooklyn College, from the games I've done this year, when they fall behind, they're not very successful. Not a very good come-from-behind team, and neither is Rutgers of Newark. So whoever can get off to a good start, I think will be successful this afternoon. And also, I think that Brooklyn College having 7 seniors, I think that'll be huge as well. This is obviously their final game of the season. 80% of their starting 5 are seniors, being Megan Campbell, Nicole Francomano, D. Ambrosi, Asia Foster. And then off the bench, you have Rima Mann, who really sets the tone, getting offensive rebounds, plays really hard her last 2 years here at Brooklyn. Sarah Shanderson, Jacqueline Grasso. So look for the seniors to really, really leave everything out on the court here tonight, here this afternoon, as they play here. They've given Coach Lang everything they've had. They've really progressed in their game. They've really enhanced their game. Thanks to Coach Lang. As I mentioned, he loves to use the entire starting 5 as well as the entire 10-man rotation. So all these players, especially the seniors and the freshmen who are coming up, have really, really developed. So we're going to take a break right now for the national anthem. After this, we'll be back for the starting lineup. We are back here at the West Quad Gymnasium. Now we'll go over the starting lineups for both clubs. Let's start with the visiting team, the Rutgers of Newark Scarlet Raiders. Starting is number 1, Maria Simmons, the 5'4" sophomore guard from Irvington, New Jersey. She went to Irvington High School. Also starting for Rutgers of Newark, number 11, Shala Glenn, the 5'6" sophomore guard from Piscataway, New Jersey. Went to Piscataway High School. Also, Ariana Williams, the 5'7" junior guard from Lumberton, New Jersey, went to Rancocas Valley High School. Also starting is number 35, Jasmine Lombard, the 6-foot center who is a sophomore from Hillside, New Jersey, went to Hillside High School. And finally, their leading scorer and rebounder, Jade Howard, the 5'11" forward. She is a senior who went to St. Joseph's High School in Hamilton, New Jersey. And now for the Brooklyn College Bulldogs, starting is number 2, Christina Heyer, the 5-foot freshman guard from Bishop Kearney High School. Also number 22, Megan Campbell, the 6'1" forward who is a senior who went to Pocono Mountain East High School out in Pennsylvania. Also Nicole Francomano, the 5'6" senior guard who went to St. John Villa High School. Also Vanessa D'Ambrosi, the 5'8" senior guard / forward who went to Bishop Ford High School in Brooklyn. And finally, number 25, Asia Foster, the 6-foot senior forward / center who went to Brooklyn Collegiate High School just around the way. So as we get close to tip-off here, my question is a simple question. What do you see as the key matchup in this game?
One of the key matchups that I want to look at is to see what Brooklyn's going to do defensively against this kind of really tall lineup that you've got out of Rutgers. You've got Jade Howard at 5'11", Jasmine Lombard at 6 feet tall, then you got Cherie Gordon at 6 feet tall. So you'd imagine that we're going to see Megan Campbell, Asia Foster taking on the two main down-low players. But at the same time, you're going to have to see Nicole Francomano at 5'6", probably going to be guarding, I would imagine, Jade Howard, who's going to be kind of more that small forward position. That's going to be a really tough task, I think, if they get out in half court for Nicole Francomano. Maybe you might see Brooklyn even play a little bit of zone because of those matchup issues to try to force Rutgers to shoot on the outside. It's going to be up to Coach Alex Lang, see what he wants to do. But if they go man-to-man, that's going to be the big matchup to see what Nicole Francomano is going to have to do defensively against this really tall lineup for the Scarlet Raiders. Yeah,
very good points as we get set for tip-off right here. Brooklyn College in their home white uniforms and Rutgers of Newark in their road black and red uniforms with white trim. As we get set right here, Megan Campbell will jump against Jade Howard. The tip is controlled by Nicole Francomano, driving inside, lays it up off the glass, no good. Rebound taken down by Shala Glenn, but stolen away by D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi, Brooklyn College pulls it back out. D'Ambrosi goes to her right, gets it over to Christina Heyer. A long three-pointer is up and in. Give the assist to Vanessa D'Ambrosi. Brooklyn College draws first blood, leading 3-0, 20 seconds in.
And we talked about getting out in transition to shoot the three, and that's what they did right off the bat.
Ariana Williams straight away. Rutgers going from left to right, picks up her dribble, gets it over to Maria Simmons, gets it back over to Glenn. Glenn at the right corner, gets it inside to Lombard, lays it up and in, using her size to her advantage. It is now 3-2 Brooklyn College.
Brooklyn goes back in a 2-3 zone. We talked about that, and they're going to try to force Rutgers to shoot outside.
Francomano setting up the offense, guarded out top by Howard, gets it over to Christina Heyer at the left wing, loses it out of bounds, and the ball goes over Christina Heyer. It'll go over to Rutgers of Newark, trailing 3-2. 19 minutes, 3 seconds to go here in the first half.
Actually, they're going to say it went off Williams, so Brooklyn's going to retain possession.
Brooklyn will regain possession, my mistake. 15 on the shot clock. Francomano setting up the offense in the midcourt logo. Hands it off to Christina Heyer. 9 on the shot clock, over to D'Ambrosi at the left wing. Gets it to Megan Campbell. Inside, jumper is up, no good. Rebound 4-4. Coming up with the rebound is Maria Simmons of Rutgers of Newark. Pushing the ball up the court. Maria Simmons driving on Francomano. Lays it up with the glass, no. Rebound taken down by Asia Foster. Foster looking. Gets it over to Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball up the court. Up the court to Megan Campbell. Fakes. Lays it up off the glass and in. It is now 5-2 Brooklyn College. 18 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Give the assist to Nicole Francomano.
And Rutgers is running a 1-3-1 zone in the half court, and the best way to beat that is down the court in transition.
Glenn at the right wing gets it back to Maria Simmons. Gets it over to Williams. Williams shoots a three-pointer off the side rim and in. And it's now 5-5. Good shot by Ariana Williams. 18 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in the first half.
Williams probably the best three-point shooter on this Rutgers team at 30% in the season.
Gets it over to D'Ambrosio at the left corner. Back to Francomano at the left wing. Over to Christina Heyer. A long three-pointer, an air ball. And it goes out of bounds to go over to Rutgers of Newark. Probably not the best shot by Christina Heyer. She was well defended right there.
Yeah, that is not the shot that we want to see out of Christina Heyer. I mean, she had an open shot, but she was almost at NBA range on that. She needs to step in. She needs to know where to get in to be within her range, because she was way too far out of her range, and that's why the ball was so short.
And that's always a tough shot for shorter players, especially from NBA range. 5 feet tall, Christina Heyer is listed as we have a stoppage in play. I believe there's a wet spot on the floor that they're taking care of right now.
Yeah, one of the things when you're looking at that 1-3 zone, you're going to see a lot of open three-pointers, especially at those left and right wing spots, which is where she was at. But you've got to realize where on the court you need to be at to get a good shot, because that was not the best shot by Christina Heyer.
No, it wasn't. As Rutgers of Newark sets up the offense, Maria Simmons picks up her dribble, gets it over to Glenn at the left wing, goes inside, gets out of bounds off of Jade Howard, and the ball go over to the Brooklyn College Bulldogs. The game is tied at 5. 17 minutes, 49 seconds to go here in the first half.
That's a good example of what Brooklyn's going to want to do out of this zone, is force turnovers.
Francomano to the foul line, gets it over to D'Ambrosio at the left corner, gets it over to Heyer at the right side to Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell takes a long two-pointer, in and out, no good. Forced with the offensive rebound, lays it up off the glass, no. Fighting for the rebound. Francomano the offensive rebound, hook shot is up off the glass, no. Foster the offensive rebound, lays it up and in. And that's a fourth opportunity for Brooklyn College. They now lead Rutgers of Newark 7-5. Asia Foster's first field goal.
And again, out of that zone, typically a lot of opportunities for offensive rebounds, and Brooklyn exposed it right there.
They go inside to Howard. Howard turnaround jumper, air ball, offensive rebound. Glenn blocked by D'Ambrosio out of bounds. Will stay right here with Rutgers of Newark. They'll take it out with 16 seconds on the shot clock. 17 minutes, 8 seconds to go in the first half. Brooklyn College leads 7-5.
A good job by D'Ambrosio to get over and help defense and get that blocked shot.
Williams to inbound. Williams looking. Gets to the corner to Glenn. A long three-pointer off the front rim, no good. Foster saves it inside to Howard. Howard lays it up and in, and the game is now tied at 7. It's 17 minutes to go here in the first half. Nicole Francomano setting up the offense, the midcourt logo, guarded by Howard. Rutgers in that zone defense. Francomano gets to the corner. D'Ambrosio, a three-pointer. It's off the back rim, no good. Rebound 4-4 coming up with the rebound is Lombard. Lombard gets it over to Glenn. Glenn pushing the ball at the court to the midcourt logo. 7-7, 16:40 to go in the first half. Gets it over to Williams. Williams gets it inside to Howard, lays it up and in. It is now 9-7, Rutgers of Newark. Good pass inside for that basket.
You can tell they're really trying to get that ball to Williams as much as possible.
They get it over to Christina Heyer at the left wing. Gets it over to D'Ambrosio, also at the left wing, setting up the offense. Gets it inside to Campbell, outside to Francomano. Thought about a three, drives inside, floats it up off the glass and in. What a shot by Francomano. The game is now tied at 9 as there was a collision on the ground between Megan Campbell and Jasmine Lombard. And she's discussing it with the referee right now.
Well, I think you actually had a couple of collisions there. It looked like Jade Howard might have actually knocked Megan Campbell into Lombard, and that's where both of them went down, and that's what Megan Campbell was asking about. The shot went up, and she said, I just got knocked down, and it was right in front of the official. Unfortunately, she wasn't looking in that spot of the court.
And now it's a substitution. Cherie Gordon will check in for Shala Glenn for Rutgers of Newark. 9-9, approaching 16 minutes to go in the first half. As Maria Simmons setting up the offense, goes to the left wing, picks up a dribble, gets it over to Williams. Williams gets it over to Lombard. Lombard spinning inside, lays it up off the front, no good. Rebound is taken down by Foster. We have a traveling violation on Asia Foster. She has a tendency to do that a lot. And the ball will go right back over to Rutgers of Newark. Foster gets really anxious in those situations.
Yeah, she got a little too anxious. It probably would have been best to make sure you have control of the ball, don't move your feet, and get it to Francomano and get her down the court to create the transition opportunity, but she was too quick with the pass.
Glenn picks up her dribble, gets it over to Williams at the left wing, gets it outside, gets it back to Glenn. Glenn gets it inside to Howard. Howard off the front rim and in. And that's now 4 points for Howard. It's now 11-9, Rutgers of Newark. 15:35 to go here in the first half. Francomano setting up the offense. Rutgers of Newark still in that zone. Over to the right side to Christina Heyer. Back to Francomano straight away, crossing over to the foul line. To the corner, D'Ambrosio deflected. D'Ambrosio comes up with it. 15 on the shot clock. And it's stolen away by Howard. Howard pushing the ball up the court. Challenged by D'Ambrosio. Howard, hop step, lays it up with the glass. No good, but it's a foul on D'Ambrosio, a blocking foul. And Howard will get 2 free throws. Jade Howard.
Yeah, it's a little close as to whether it was a block or a charge, and I think what they're saying is by the time Howard started her upward movement, Francomano wasn't set, and that's why she got called for the block.
Now it looks as if Rutgers of Newark is looking to get opportunities off turnovers as they try to get a basket right there, but they'll get 2 free throws. First free throw for Howard is up. It's good. And now Jade Howard now has 6 points for Rutgers of Newark. No, 7 points, excuse me. 7 of their 12 points so far for Rutgers of Newark. One more free throw coming up for Howard. It's up. It's good. And now Rutgers of Newark leads Brooklyn College 13-9. 15 minutes, 17 seconds to go here in the first half. Over to D'Ambrosi at the left wing. To Nicole Francomano straight away. Francomano to Christina Heyer at the right side. It's it over to Francomano. It's it over to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi looking. Cross-court pass to Heyer. Heyer thought about a 3. Gets to the Campbell. Campbell has a strip. Stolen away by Howard. Howard pushing the ball up the court. Brooklyn College gets back. Losing the ball, but picks up a dribble. Gets to the shallow Glenn. Glenn gets it over to Williams at the right side. Gets it inside. It's a jumper. It's off the back rim. No good for... That was Gordon. Gordon missed, and Francomano comes up with it. Francomano pushing the ball up the court. Stolen away by Glenn. Glenn pushing the ball up the court. Glenn challenged by Heyer. Glenn lays it up with the glass. No. Coming up with the rebound, it's Foster. Heyer in the collision was a little slow to get up, but she got up. Francomano has it knocked away, stolen away by Glenn. Glenn challenging Asia Foster. Lays it up with the glass. No. Rebounded by Foster. Foster gets to the Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball up the court. Francomano to the foul line. Gets to the corner to Heyer. Heyer gets it inside to Campbell. Back out to Francomano. Francomano back to Heyer. Heyer stripped and fouled. Foul will be on Jade Howard. That would be the first personal foul on her, the first team foul on Rutgers of Newark.
We've seen a lot of active defense from Maria Simmons out of Rutgers Newark, and unfortunately, they're getting good opportunities by creating these turnovers. Unfortunately, the last couple possessions, they have not done a very good job of capitalizing and scoring on it, something that Coach Bill Zasowski is probably not happy with right now.
As Rima Mann, Sarah Shanderson, and Jacqueline Grosso will check in for Brooklyn. 13-9, Rutgers of Newark. 14-15 to go in the first half. D'Ambrosi at the right side gets it back to Jacqueline Grosso straight away. Gets it to Sarah Shanderson at the left wing. Back to Grosso straight away. Gets it over to D'Ambrosi. Fakes a 3. Driving inside. Gets it inside to Mann. Nearly stolen. Mann comes up with it, but she's outside. Gets it inside to Campbell. Campbell lays it. No. Double teamed inside. And we have a traveling violation on Megan Campbell inside. Good defense inside by Rutgers of Newark. They're really collapsing right now as number 35, Jasmine Lombard, will get a rest right now for Rutgers of Newark. They lead 13-9. 13 minutes, 57 seconds to go in the first half. Charlotte Glenn setting up the offense in the midcourt logo. Glenn guarded by Jacqueline Grosso straight away, setting up this offense. Picks up her dribble, gets it over to Gordon. Gordon at the foul line. Gets it over to Williams straight away. 14 on the shot clock. Picks up a dribble. Gets it over to Glenn. To Simmons. Simmons gets it outside to Gordon. Jumpers off the side rim. No good. Rebound taken down by Campbell. Jacqueline Grosso pushing the ball up the court. Grosso straight away. Grosso driving inside. Gets it to Campbell. And we have a foul on Rutgers of Newark as Grosso drove inside. The foul will be on the ground. The second team foul on Rutgers of Newark. The foul is on Charlotte Glenn. That'll be her first personal foul.
Yeah, they got her as Grosso was driving in. I think they're saying that kind of she slashed her arm down.
Shanderson inbounded, knocked out of bounds by Jade Howard. Brooklyn College will maintain possession with 30 on the shot clock, trailing 13-9. Rutgers of Newark really aggressive on defense to start this game. Shanderson to inbound, looking, gets it outside to D'Ambrosi, gets it inside to Campbell, back up to D'Ambrosi. A three-pointer is off the side rim, no good. Rebound fought for. Coming up with the rebound is still fighting for it. Coming up with it is Gordon. Gordon gets it over to number 12, Williams. Williams to the midcourt logo. Williams guarded out top by Shanderson. Gets it over to Simmons. Simmons gets it over to Howard, driving inside. And we have a foul as she drove inside. The second team foul on Brooklyn College. And foul is on Megan Campbell. That'll be her first personal foul. As Rutgers of Newark right now is really active offensively, looking to go to the basket, and that's why they're drawing these fouls right now. As Williams will inbound the basketball. Williams looking, gets it outside to number 1, Simmons, gets it over to number 11, Glenn, back over to Williams. Williams gets it back over to Glenn. Glenn driving baseline, lays it up, blocked by Campbell, fight for the rebound. Coming up with it is Gordon, back out to Glenn, gets it over to Howard, 17 on the shot clock, driving inside, off the front rim and in, and it's now 15-9, Rutgers of Newark. They are really active offensively, 10 points for Jade Howard right now. Grosso setting up the offense. Guard at the midcourt logo. Gets it over to Sarah Shanderson. Shanderson, guarded by Simmons, Gets it over to Grosso. Back to Shanderson. Shanderson at the right side. 14 on the shot clock. Driving inside and knocked away, stolen away. But fighting for it, coming up with it is Gordon. But still fighting for the ball. Gordon comes up with it, gets over to Howard. Howard gets it up the court to Williams. Williams at the left side, picks up a dribble, gets it over to number 11, Glenn. Glenn gets it back over to Simmons. Simmons straight away. Simmons guarded by Shanderson straight away. And we have a 3-second violation on Rutgers of Newark. The ball go over to Brooklyn College's Asia Foster will check into the game. And so will Nicole Francomano for Megan Campbell and Sarah Shanderson.
Yeah, I think they got Gordon kind of camping out right below the basket as Rutgers was trying to set up their offense. And while they were doing that, she couldn't move around because they were trying to get things set up, and she got caught with 3 seconds in the key.
Francomano setting up the offense, gets over to D'Ambrosi at the right side. Back to Francomano at the midcourt logo. Francomano picks up her dribble, looking, gets it to D'Ambrosi at the right side. Thought about giving it to Foster, drives, has it knocked away, coming up with the ball, fight for it. D'Ambrosi comes up with it, 10 seconds on the shot clock to Francomano, 9 on the shot clock. Francomano driving inside, knocked away, stolen away by Williams. Williams picked up her dribble, looking, gets it over to Howard. Howard nearly traveled, but picked up her dribble, got it back over to Williams. Williams says, let's regroup. Williams at the midcourt logo, guarded by Francomano, picks up her dribble. Gets it over to Glenn. Gets it over to Simmons. Simmons gets it inside to Gordon. Lays it up, no good, but she is fouled. And Rutgers of Newark moving the basketball really well. And that's why they're getting to the foul line so far. The third team foul on Brooklyn College. The foul will be on Nicole. It will be on Asia Foster, her first personal foul. And Cherie Gordon will get 2 free throws right now.
One of the big keys for the Scarlet Raiders has been Maria Simmons. She's being very active defensively. She's knocking the ball loose, creating a lot of these opportunities and forcing a lot of turnovers.
First free throw for Gordon is up. Off the front rim and in. It is now 16-9, Rutgers of Newark. 11 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the first half. She'll get 1 more free throw. That's her first point of the game. Gordon gets set, bends her knees, free throw is up. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound, knocked it back, and offensive rebound for Shala Glenn. A new 30 for Rutgers of Newark. Gets it over to Simmons. Gets it over to Williams. Williams back over to Glenn. Glenn driving inside. Off the glass, no. Offensive rebound, forward for Jacqueline Grosso comes up with it. Gets over to Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball up the court to the midcourt logo. Francomano guarded by Glenn out top. 16-9, Rutgers of Newark approaching 11 minutes to go in the first half. Francomano at the left side. Gets a pick from Mann. Straight away, gets it over to D'Ambrosi in the corner. Inside to Foster. Foster blocked. Coming up with the rebound is Gordon. Gordon gets over to Howard. Howard hands it off to Simmons. Simmons pushing the ball up the court. At the right side, picks up her dribble. Gets it over to 3-pointer for Williams. On the back rim, no good. Rebound taken down by Francomano. Francomano pushing it up from Brooklyn College. Francomano driving inside. Challenge, has it knocked away, blocked by Glenn. Coming up with the ball is Howard. Howard pushing it up, but Brooklyn College is back on defense. Gets it over to Glenn. Nearly stolen by Francomano. Hands it off to Williams. 20 on the shot clock. He says, let's regroup. Setting up the offense right now is Williams from the midcourt logo. 16-9, Rutgers of Newark. 10.5 to go here in the first half. Picking up her dribble is Glenn. Inside to Howard. Howard, jump shot is up. Off the front rim, no good. Coming up with the rebound is Mann. Gets over to Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball up the court to the midcourt logo. Francomano picks up a dribble. It's over to D'Ambrosi. Knocked away. Stolen away by Howard. Another steal. Howard pushing the ball up the court. Gets it up the court to Glenn. Glenn lays it up and in. It is now 18-9. Rutgers of Newark. Coach Alex Lane wants a full timeout. As a result of that, Brooklyn College having so much trouble taking care of the basketball right now.
Yeah, you can tell they're really flustered. They're not handling this pressure defense that Rutgers is throwing out very well at all. We talked about Maria Simmons is doing a lot, and it's opening a lot of things up for Jade Howard. Howard's really, if you look at Rutgers Newark, every time they're in the half court, what they're doing is they're finding ways to free up Jade Howard to get her the basketball, whether it's on the baseline, whether it's up by the free throw line, or even sometimes out on the perimeters. They are really trying to get her focused offensively to get her the ball. So one of the things that the Bulldogs need to do right now, first things first, they need to be aware of Maria Simmons when Rutgers is on defense, because she's knocking the ball loose. She's creating a lot of opportunities for the Scarlet Raiders. Defensively, you got to have your eyes on Jade Howard, because she is the one they are getting the ball to every time down the floor. We're looking at 10 points for her, 18 for the team. So she's getting most of the opportunities because that's who they're focusing the ball towards right now.
Yeah, right now, Rutgers of Newark, as they lead 18-9, is they're on a 9-0 scoring run right now. And one thing that we mentioned at the top of the show, Rutgers of Newark does average 11 steals. So their defense right now is looking as good as advertised. They average only 63 points per game offensively, but at the same time, they only give up 63 points per game, and it's showing right now. Brooklyn College has to find a way to answer this zone. As we get set to resume action right now, Brooklyn College will go from right to left in their home white uniforms, trailing 18-9, 10 minutes, 6 seconds to go here in the first half. As Francomano gets into the midcourt logo, setting up the offense, guarded tightly by Howard, gives it over to Grasso, over to Heyer. Heyer pulls it back out, guarded closely by Glenn, gets it back to Francomano with the left side. Francomano gets it inside to Campbell, inside to Foster, lays it up, blocked. Coming up with the ball is Simmons, saves it out of bounds. So it's Foster, though. Coming up with the ball, though, is Glenn for Rutgers of Newark. Gets it over to Williams. Williams slowly setting up the offense as Rutgers leads 18-9, 9:35 to go here in the first half. Williams guarded by Grasso, gets it over to Simmons. Simmons starts her dribble, gets it over to Glenn. Glenn guarded by Heyer, driving on Heyer. And we have an offensive foul. Chrissy Heyer drawing the charge. Chrissy Heyer doing what Chrissy Heyer does. She does that so well.
And I think there's also a lot of Glenn kind of throwing her forearm out there. So, good job by Chrissy Heyer getting in position, but I think that was a kind of a not a smart move by Glenn as she kind of threw her arm out there and really almost just basically shoved Heyer to the ground.
As Jasmine Lombard will check in for Shala Glenn. 18-9, Rutgers of Newark, 9:20 to go in the first half. Francomano gets it over to Heyer. Heyer out top, driving inside. We have a foul on, I believe, Ariana Williams. Yes, that is a foul on Ariana Williams. That'll be her first personal foul. It'll be the 14th foul on Rutgers of Newark as D'Ambrosi for Brooklyn College gets set to check into the basketball game. She'll check in for Jacqueline Grasso as they need some offensive punch right now. They're really struggling right now offensively. As Brooklyn College will inbound the basketball. Heyer looking to inbound. Inbounds the pass to Francomano behind the three-point line. Gets it over to Heyer. Heyer catch and shoot three. Air ball. Coming up with the ball is D'Ambrosi. 25 on the shot clock. That ball did not hit the rim. Francomano drives to the foul line. Floater is up. No good, but she is fouled, and she will get 2 free throws. Good drive by Francomano, seeing a little seam inside, and now she'll get 2 free throws because of it. That's the 15th foul on Rutgers of Newark. If they can get them in over the penalty, that'll be huge as they trail right now. Foul is on number 35, Jasmine Lombard. That'll be her first personal foul.
And I think that might be something that Brooklyn's going to look to do out of this zone is maybe force Lombard to come out and be active because she likes going for that block shot, especially against a smaller opponent. But if she goes too aggressively at it, she's going to draw a foul every time.
Francomano misses the first free throw. They do not need that right now, so down by 9 points. Second free throw is up. It's good. It is now 18-10. Rutgers of Newark approaching 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Inbounds pass to Simmons. Simmons slowly setting up the offense, approaching the midcourt logo. 18-10, Rutgers of Newark. Under 9 minutes to go in the first half. Gives it over to Williams. Back to Simmons to the left side. Gives it to Howard. Howard throws it over. Knocked away, stolen away by D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi pushing the ball at the court. D'Ambrosi driving inside. Challenged by Simmons. Lays it up and in. And that's what they need right there. Points off turnovers. 18-12 right now. The first field goal for Vanessa D'Ambrosi. Simmons picks up her dribble. Gets it over to Williams. Williams looking. Dribbling the basketball. Picks up her dribble. Gets it over to Gordon. Gordon driving inside. Knocked away. Stolen away by Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball at the court. Knocked away. Gets it back to the foul line. Outside of D'Ambrosi. A catch and shoot three-pointer. It's up and in. And the lead is now cut to 3. A 6-0 run for Brooklyn College. Now they're getting points off turnovers. That was probably the strategy for Alex Lang during the last timeout. And setting up the offense right now is Williams. 18-15, Rutgers of Newark. Approaching 8 minutes to go in the first half. Gets it over to Simmons straight away. Simmons guarded by Heyer. Gets it back over to Williams. Williams gets it over to Gordon. Gordon gets it back over to Williams. Williams dribbling the basketball. Picks up a dribble. Gets it over to Simmons. Gets it over to Lombard. Lombard driving inside. Lays it up with the glass and in. And she drove inside. Nobody challenged her. It's now 20-15, Rutgers of Newark. 4 points for Jasmine Lombard. Francomano setting up the offense. Rutgers in that zone defense. Gets it over to D'Ambrosi at the right side. Gets it back over to Francomano. Francomano back to Heyer. Heyer looking back to Francomano straight away. Gets it over to D'Ambrosi at the right side in the corner. A catch and shoot three. It's off the front, no good. Rebound taken down by Howard. Coming up to the ball is Williams. Williams gets to the midcourt logo. 20-15. Rutgers of Newark, 7:20 to go in the first half. It's over to Simmons. It's over to Howard. Back to Simmons. To Williams straight away. Williams looking. 15 on the shot clock. It's over to Simmons. A wide open three-pointer. It's an air ball. Coming up with the rebound is D'Ambrosi. Francomano pushing the ball at the court. Eyes up to the midcourt logo. To the foul line. Picks up her dribble to D'Ambrosi. A catch and shoot three-pointer. Air ball. Foster goes to the rebound, but it's out of bounds. And the ball will wrap it over to Rutgers of Newark, leading 20-15. 7 minutes to go in the first half. as we have a timeout for Brooklyn College, a 30-second timeout. As right now, Brooklyn College showing a little bit of life offensively since their last break.
Well, they're showing life offensively because they're showing life defensively.
Yes.
It's all starting with the defensive effort of getting out, knocking the ball loose, and getting out in transition. That's kind of what's gotten things going. And we talked about it in the pregame about getting Vanessa D'Ambrosi wide open for threes in transition. That's when she's knocked down a couple of her big shots. The other problem is, though, sometimes with D'Ambrosi is that she gets a little bit too active, or she gets a little bit too confident in it, and she doesn't take the smartest three-pointers. There have been a couple times where the last three-pointers, she put it up, but there was a defender running right at her.
Yeah.
It would have been really smart to kind of pump fake, get the defender out of the way, drive, and you could have opened something up for your teammates.
Yeah, D'Ambrosi, being a three-point shooter, is always looking for that shot, as Adasia McKinnon checked in for Rutgers of Newark, leading 20-15. Under 7 minutes to go in the first half. They give it to McKinnon. They give it over to Howard. They throw it over to Simmons. They get it over to Williams. Back to McKinnon at the left side. McKinnon driving inside. Lays it up. No good. Coming up with the rebound is Megan Campbell. It's over to Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball at the court to the right side. Driving inside. Lays it up with the glass and no good. Coming up with the rebound. Foul is on Rutgers of Newark as they went for the rebound. And that'll be their sixth team foul. Foul is on number 12, Ariana Williams. That'll be her second personal foul. As I mentioned, the 16th foul on Rutgers of Newark. And see if Brooklyn College can get some offense going right now as Rima Mann will check into the basketball game for Asia Foster. See if she can provide some offense off the bench as she has done all season. As inbound the basketball is Chrissy Higher looking, still looking, inbounds to Francomano. Francomano gets it over to Higher, catch and shoot three-pointer. And we have an offensive foul on Brooklyn College. Foul will be on number 22, Megan Campbell. That'll be her second personal foul, the 14th foul on Brooklyn College here in this first half.
I think they got Campbell on an illegal screen right there. Yes. I don't know if she was moving, but they caught her on an illegal screen. That's what opened up Chrissy Higher. Gave her a great look, and she knocked down the three. Unfortunately, you've got to be smarter offensively and not make too many mistakes like that.
And now their key player, Megan Campbell, goes to the bench with two fouls. Asia Foster checks in, gets it over to McKinnon. McKinnon looking. They get it over to Howard. Howard driving inside, lays it up off the glass. No. Coming up with the rebound is D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi pressured, pushing the ball off the court to the midcourt local, gets it across the timeline. Guarded closely by Williams, picks up a dribble. It's over to Francomano. 20 on the shot clock. Approaching 6 minutes to go in the first half. It's over to Higher. Higher gets it over to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi out top, picks up her dribble, gets it over to Francomano. Francomano to the foul line, hop step, lays it up off the back rim and in. Good drive from Nicole Francomano. She now has 5 points, 20-17, Rutgers of Newark. 5:48 to go here in the first half. As Simmons gets it to the midcourt logo, setting up the offense. Brooklyn College in his own defense to McKinnon. Gets it inside to Lombard. Lombard spins. Off the glass, no, way off. Coming up with the rebound is D'Ambrosi. Gets it up to Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball at the court. Francomano gets it inside to Mann, inside to Foster. We have a foul, I believe, on Jade Howard. And that'll be the 17th foul on Rutgers of Newark. They're now in the penalty. And now, Jade Howard, her second personal foul. And now, checking into the game, or appearing to check into the game, is Cherie Gordon, but the referee says to wait, as now Rima Mann will go to the free throw line. And that's really huge as Brooklyn College is coming back right now. Now Cherie Gordon will check into the basketball game for Jasmine Lombard. Rima Mann will try to cut into this lead even more.
Yeah, it's the 7th team foul for Rutgers Newark, so that puts Brooklyn in the bonus, so it's 1-on-1 opportunity here.
See if she can make the first to give herself a second opportunity. Free throw is up. It's good, and now Rima Mann, with that make, earns herself another foul shot. That's the first point of this game for Rima Mann. And now checking into the game for Brooklyn College is Jacqueline Grasso for Christina Higher. As right now, Jacqueline Grasso provides some huge punch defensively. And Rima Mann will get one more free throw. Mann gets set, takes a few dribbles, eyes the rim. Free throw is up. It's good, and it's now a 1-point game. 20-19. Brooklyn College right now on an 11-2 run.
Those are 2 big free throws for the Bulldogs right there.
Simmons setting up the offense. Brooklyn College in his own defense. Gets it over to Williams. Gets it back over to Simmons. Simmons looking. Gets it back over to Williams. A three-pointer. It's off the back rim. No good. Rebound taken down by McKinnon. McKinnon lays it up on the glass and in. A second chance basket for Rutgers of Newark. They lead 22-19. Approaching 5 minutes to go in the first half. Francomano inside to Mann. Lays it up on the glass. Way off. Coming up with the rebound is Gordon. Gets it over to Williams. Williams pushing the ball at the court to the midcourt logo. Williams guarded by Francomano, picks up her dribble, gets it inside to Gordon, lays it up on the glass. It's good, and she's fouled. It's now 24-19 Rutgers of Newark, the 15th foul on Brooklyn College, and that foul will be on number 23, I believe, or 24, D'Ambrosi, actually. That'll be a second personal foul on D'Ambrosi. As checking into the basketball game is Shala Glenn for Adasia McKinnon, and Cherie Gordon will get a chance to complete a three-point play. She gets set right here. Free throw is up. It's good. And now Cherie Gordon for Rutgers of Newark has 4 points as Sarah Shanderson checks in for Vanessa D'Ambrosi. 25-19 Rutgers of Newark. They scored 5 straight points since Brooklyn College cut the lead to 1. As Nicole Francomano setting up the offense, the midcourt logo. Out top, Rutgers of Newark in his own defense. Gets it over to Jacqueline Grasso. Back to Francomano. Gets it over to Asia Foster. Foster picks up her dribble. Gets it over to Francomano straight away. 15 on the shot clock. Francomano gets it over to Rima Mann at the right side behind the three-point line. Mann drives inside. Lays it up with the glass. No good. Coming up with the rebound is Howard. A wide open look for Mann. Did not convert. It's over to Williams to the midcourt logo. Williams setting up the offense. 25-19 Rutgers of Newark. 4:25 to go here in the first half. Gets it over to Simmons. Simmons setting up the offense. Gets it back over to Williams at the left side. Gets it over to Glenn. Glenn back to Williams. Williams fakes. Gets it inside. Gobbling the basketball is Gordon. And will stay right here with Rutgers of Newark with 8 seconds on the shot clock. They look to get a good shot right here. Brooklyn College doing a good job defensively, but they got to play 8 seconds of defense right here as Williams will inbound the basketball. Williams looking, still looking, gets it inbound to Glenn. Glenn guarded by Francomano, 5 on the shot clock. It's over to Williams. Williams, a floater just inside a three-point line. No good. Coming up with the rebound is Glenn, an offensive rebound. Gets it inside to Howard. Lays it up on the glass. No good. Coming up with the rebound is Grasso. Grasso to Francomano. Francomano pushing it up, crossing over. Lays it up. No good. It's a foul on the ground. Foul not being the act of shooting, but that's the 18th foul on Rutgers of Newark. So Francomano will go to the free throw line. Fouls on Shala Glenn. That'll be the 13th foul on Shala Glenn. As checking into the game is Adasia McKinnon for Shala Glenn. She's in foul trouble, and Francomano will go back to the free throw line. And she gets set right here. 25-19 Rutgers of Newark. 3:54 to go in the first half. Free throw is up. It's good. She hits the front end of a 1-and-1. And with that make, she earns herself a second foul shot. Francomano now with 6 points for Brooklyn College. Second free throw is up. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound is taken down easily by Jade Howard. Gets it over to Williams. Williams hands it off to Simmons. 25-20 Rutgers of Newark. 3:45 to go here in the first half. It's Williams setting up the offense, picks up a dribble. Gets it over to Simmons. Simmons gets it over to Williams. Gets it inside to Howard. Posting up, spins. Jumper is up off the side rim, no good. Coming with the rebound is Grasso. It's over to Francomano. Francomano in basketball. When you struggle against the trap defense, you have to counter with forcing turnovers on your own. You have to counter them, getting points off turnovers, baskets in transition. Nicole Francomano, as I mentioned, is really good at that. Stealing the ball and either creating baskets for herself or baskets for others.
Yeah, it really comes down to that defensively. They are going to have to get out and really get their active hands. You know, they're sitting in the zone. We talked about that at the beginning, or at the pregame, about, is Brooklyn going to run a zone, or are they going to try to go man? It seems like they really kind of stick to their guns. They're going to stick to the zone, which I think is probably the smarter thing, because that's the best way to get out in the passing lane and knock the ball loose and to be able to get out in transition. So the zone is the best way to do it. Also, when you're coming up against a team that is typically not a very good perimeter shooting team, their really only three-point shooter is Williams. She's taken a couple of shots. I think she's knocked one of them down. But outside of that, they're really, you can tell they're hesitant. The other thing is, as much as Rutgers Newark is forcing turnovers, they haven't, you can tell when they're getting these steals, they're not always going for the transition game. They're slowing it down. They know for a fact that is the game that they are going to want to play, and they've kind of been able to force it so far. That's going to be the big thing. But again, I think with the fact that Rutgers Newark is going to have tired legs in the second half, that's probably the number one thing they're telling them, that guys, rest. Get your legs relaxed, because we're going to need you in the second half. They haven't gone that deep on their bench. I think they've only had a couple players come off the bench, and especially some of these big bodies are going to get tired eventually. This is a lot of running up and down the court, especially after playing an overtime game last night. It's going to be interesting. That's going to be the big key is to how they're going to work against these big bodies. That's what Coach Marine was talking about. We got to work around these big bodies is the first thing.
Yeah, and I'm sure that with the way they started this game, the way they jumped out, they really need this halftime break right now. It's a timely halftime break. The way they started, getting out in the fast break so many times in the first half. I mentioned Shala Glenn gets a steal. Jade Howard gets a steal. Simmons gets a steal. They're getting out in the fast break, and they really need some rest. You mentioned they have a few big bodies as well. So Brooklyn College, look for them in the second half to really go deep into their bench. Alex Lang really go into his reputation as a head coach to get everybody involved. And Brooklyn College should have fresher legs. They appear to have a deeper rotation. They have a bigger team. And in this first half, neither team is shooting the ball all that well, but a lot of the points have come from points off turnovers. They've also gone to the free throw line about the same amount of times. Rutgers of Newark has 8 free throw attempts. Brooklyn College has 7 free throw attempts. And the one upside to this is that Brooklyn College is knocking down their free throws, to say the least. They've made 5 out of 7 free throws so far in this game, and it's really going to help them in a close game right now. Brooklyn College, a team that doesn't really do well when it comes to coming from behind. They don't come from behind that much. In the games that I've done this year, as soon as they fall behind, they would come back in spurts, but they never come all the way back. They never get over that hump. So let's see what Coach Alex Lang tells them here at the half. Maybe how to answer this zone, which they've done a pretty good job of as the first half progressed, answering the zone defense. And Rutgers of Newark, I'm assuming that they are going to get tired, as we keep saying ad nauseum right now. They're going to get tired, especially after yesterday's game, and as I mentioned a few minutes ago, especially the way they came out here in this first half, forcing turnovers, getting out in the fast break, and Brooklyn College should really notice that, really take advantage of their tired legs, because the score is only 30-25 here at the half. So it could be another close game, another down-to-the-wire affair. And after yesterday's game, I don't know if Rutgers of Newark can really stomach that. I don't know if they can really handle that. Tired legs, and plus the travel situation, as we mentioned at the top of the show as well.
And, one of the things, too, is that you've got a couple of players for Rutgers Newark that's in a little bit of foul trouble.
Yeah.
You've got Howard, who's really, that's their key players with 13 points in the first half. She's got 2 fouls. You've got Glenn with 3 fouls and Williams with 2 fouls. So if Brooklyn College is going to be successful, look for maybe offensively trying to focus on going after Jade Howard, because if they can get her into some foul trouble, that's going to be huge for the Bulldogs. Without her contributions offensively, Brooklyn would either have this game probably tied, might even have the lead, considering how big of a key she is offensively.
Yeah, Jade Howard with 13 points here in the first half. The second leading scorer has 6 points, and right now it's huge to get her in foul trouble. Take her out, as Brock mentioned, and they have no answer, no plan B really offensively, Rutgers of Newark. And also it'll be huge to take Jade Howard out this game, because she also has 3 of their 7 steals here in this first half. So that'll be a big loss for them defensively as well as offensively here in this first half. And on the other hand, speaking of foul trouble, for Brooklyn College, Megan Campbell has 2 fouls right now. And I'm sure that the coach of Rutgers of Newark really wants to try to get Megan Campbell in foul trouble, try to get them to go at her, as she is Brooklyn College's best scorer right now. Well, not in this game, but overall their best scorer right now, leading Brooklyn College in scoring, is Nicole Francomano. She has 8 points, but we expect Megan Campbell to wake up here in the second half. So if they can keep her out this game, keep Megan Campbell shut down, that could be really huge for them as well. So I'm sure the strategy for Rutgers of Newark is to keep going at Megan Campbell, get her in foul trouble, but also for Brooklyn College, get out in transition and get Jade Howard in foul trouble as well.
Well, and no matter who they're playing, Rutgers is a team that they go down low so much.
Yeah.
Typically, your centers and your forwards are going to get foul trouble no matter what, because that's the focus of their offense, is to get the ball down low, and that's where you're going to see, Campbell getting in foul trouble. We saw a couple fouls on Asia Foster. She had one. Also, I think Rima Mann got into a little bit of foul trouble. So that's going to happen within the game based on how Rutgers plays. the biggest thing for Brooklyn is just going to be, I think, out in perimeter defensively is kind of creating chaos almost. You got to get hands in the faces. You got to take away passing lanes.
Yeah.
You got to not make it easy for Rutgers to run their offense. I also think one of the things I've noticed a couple times for Rutgers, when they're running their offense, they're almost waiting to really do anything until the shot clock gets to around that 10-second mark.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of coaches that like doing that. The one problem that you run into is sometimes you got to force a shot. So I think when it gets to that point, maybe look at fronting the posts. Also, you got to see where 42 is at on the floor at all times. You got to see where Jay Howard is at, because if she gets the ball, she's looking to score, and she's a very, very effective shooter, and she's very good at scoring. So if they can kind of keep the ball out of her hands when it gets into that 10-second, less than 10 seconds on the shot clock, that's where the Bulldogs are going to have they're going to be a lot better defensively.
Yeah, they got to try to keep the ball out of the hands of Jade Howard. She has been a thorn in Brooklyn College's side here in the first half. She has 13 points right now, as well as 6 rebounds. And her stats are as good as advertised. Coming into this game, she's averaging 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals as well. So look for Brooklyn College to try to take her out and try to make this game easier for them. And even with her in, they trail by just 5 points. See what Coach Alex Lang has in store for them here in the second half. I'm sure that both coaches can't be all the way pleased with the way their teams have played here in this first half. Very sloppy first half, to say the least. And you're going to have sloppy first halves when the strategy is to get out in transition, because there have been a few plays where they steal the ball, they lose the ball, get it back, steal the ball, lose the ball, get it back. So really try to be a lot more smooth offensively and try to drive the ball to the basket when you have it. When you don't have numbers, just pull the ball out, especially if your Brooklyn College doesn't have the athletes that Rutgers of Newark has. And Francomano, when she pulls it out, we know that Francomano is very good in transition. When she pulls the basketball out, we know that she can find the open man almost at all times, even with Rima Mann driving to the basket, or Megan Campbell getting good position inside, or Megan Campbell at first getting good position inside, then going out to the foul line for an easy jump shot. She is so capable on the free throw line with her jump shot. And also we look for Christina Heyer to get going offensively as well. And I have to say, Brooklyn College, unlike yesterday, a lot more balanced offensively. I mentioned yesterday at the top of the show that when they beat Sage College, they won that game by 6 points. But the issue I had was that only D'Ambrosi and Megan Campbell were scoring. As I mentioned, Megan Campbell had 24 points, D'Ambrosi had 16 points. But now you look at it, you have Nicole Francomano, who has 8 points. You have Christina Heyer, who has 6 points. And you have Vanessa D'Ambrosi, who has 5 points as well. So great balance offensively. And I have to mention Asia Foster, who has done such a great job this year on the boards. 9 rebounds here in this first half. And that's part of the reason why Brooklyn College trails by only 5 points right now.
Yeah, they've got to get the ball spread around a little bit better. You'd like to see a little bit better down-low scoring, but again, against this Rutgers Newark team, because they are so good with they're so big with their players down low, you're probably going to see a lot more scoring from perimeter players. We haven't seen a lot out of Megan Campbell offensively, haven't seen a lot out of Asia Foster offensively. And even Rima Mann, she's kind of tried, but unfortunately there's just been times where she is almost forcing a shot too much. So, the perimeter players for Brooklyn are going to have to knock down some shots. Yeah. They're going to have to, and I think the biggest thing is, Coach Favrine talked about it.
Yeah.
It's got to be getting out in transition.
Yeah.
If you can get Newark out in transition, that's when you take away their best options defensively, because those bigs can't get down the court as fast. So look for Brooklyn to really force play in transition, and that's what Nicole Francomano does really well. So hopefully they'll be able to do that really well. And also, you got to get the hand, you got to knock the ball loose, you got to get out in transition from defense. So it all starts with the defense to create offense.
I'm Adam Lockley with Brock Myers. We begin to start the second half right here. And we're in the second half, approaching the second half of the ECAC women's tournament, between the Brooklyn College Bulldogs and the Rutgers of Newark Scarlet Raiders. Rutgers of Newark leading 30-25 as we get set to start the second half right here. Rutgers of Newark will start going from right to left in their road black uniforms with red and white trim as Ariana Williams gets set to set up the offense. We start the second half right here. They have the same starting five for both teams. Simmons at the right side, gets it over to Ariana Williams, gets it back over to Simmons. We see on the shot clock to Glenn straight away, guarded closely by Heyer. Glenn driving inside, gets it to the baseline to Howard. Double team inside by Foster and Campbell. Coming up with the rebound is Foster off a missed shot by Howard off the top of the backboard. Francomano pushing the ball up the court. Inside to Campbell, lays it up. Double clutch, no good. Rebound 4-4 coming out with the rebound is Ariana Williams for Rutgers of Newark. Rutgers of Newark going from right to left, leading 30-25. 19 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the second half. Gets it over to Simmons, picks up a dribble, gets it over to Williams to the right side, back to Simmons straight away, to Glenn, over to Williams, shoots a three-pointer, it's up and in, the second three-pointer for Ariana Williams, give the assist to Shala Glenn, 33-25, Rutgers of Newark, 19 minutes to go here in the second half. Francomano with the midcourt logo, setting up the offense. Rutgers of Newark still in that zone defense. Francomano picks up a dribble. It's over to Heyer. Heyer picks up a dribble. It's over to D'Ambrosi at the right side. Shoots a three-pointer. It's up and in. A big three-pointer from Vanessa D'Ambrosi. They have to get her going. She now has 8 points right now. Her second three-pointer.
When Rutgers goes to that 1-3-1 zone, look for D'Ambrosi to knock down those baseline three-pointers. That's what they're trying to open up for.
Ariana Williams gets it over to Glenn. Glenn driving inside. Floats it up off the back rim. No good. Rebound taken down by Campbell. Campbell is fouled by Jasmine Lombard. That'll be I believe that'll be the second personal foul on Jasmine Lombard. Yes, her second personal foul. As Brooklyn College will inbound the basketball, going from left to right in their home white uniforms, trailing 33-28. 18 and a half to go here in the second half. Francomano setting up the offense to the midcourt logo. Rutgers of Newark still in that zone defense, which has been so effective in this game. You see D'Ambrosi shoots a three-pointer off the back rim, no good. Coming up with the rebound is Lombard. Lombard gets over to Simmons. Simmons gets to the midcourt logo, setting up the offense to the foul line. Picks up a dribble, gets over to Williams. Williams thought about a three, gets it to Simmons. Simmons gets inside to Lombard off the glass and in. It's now 35-28. Rutgers of Newark, 6 points right now for Jasmine Lombard. Francomano at the midcourt logo, setting up the offense, guarded by Howard. Picks up a dribble, gets over to Heyer straight away. 20 on the shot clock. Howard looking, gets it back over to Francomano at the left side. Francomano setting up the offense. 15 on the shot clock, over to D'Ambrosi. Bobbles it, picks it up, gets over to Heyer. Shoots a three-pointer. It's off the back rim, no good. Offensive rebound, D'Ambrosi knocked away. Coming up with the rebound is Lombard with the steal. Gets it over to Simmons. Simmons setting up the offense. 25 on the shot clock. 35-28, Rutgers of Newark. 17 and a half to go in the first half. Gets it over to Williams. Williams setting up the offense at the right side. Gets it over to Simmons. Simmons setting up the offense. Picks up a dribble. Gets it over to Williams. Shoots another three-pointer. Off the back rim, no good. Offensive rebound taken down by Lombard. Lombard posting up. Spins inside. Lays it up and in. And it's a second chance basket for Rutgers of Newark. 37-28. Rutgers of Newark. 8 points right now for Jasmine Lombard.
You cannot allow second chance opportunities if you're the Bulldogs, and that's why Coach Lang's going to call a timeout right now.
It's a full timeout right now for Coach Alex Lang. They have allowed 4 second chance points here in the second half, and all of them right now are by Jasmine Lombard. You cannot allow that, especially when you're on the comeback trail.
And again, we talked about how, Vanessa D'Ambrosi hits a big three-pointer early on, but then when she gets another opportunity, she took another three-pointer that probably wasn't the shot you want her to take. Yeah. And that's why when it didn't work out, next time around, they did a lot better job moving the ball around, got Chrissy Heyer open for a three. She unfortunately just was not able to knock it down.
And that's what we talked about at halftime, how D'Ambrosi can hit one three-pointer. She hit one three-pointer to start the second half. And then after she hits one, she jacks up every three-pointer that she sees. And it may not be the best possible shot, as most of the time when she's jacked up those three-pointers, she was under full duress. You got to remember, this Rutgers of Newark team is a pretty good defensive team. They're not very good offensively, but they make up for it defensively. So you got to move the ball offensively. I know with the zone defense it's tough, but wait for the best possible shot. You have the luxury of a 30-second shot clock. Move it around, get it inside to Campbell, and as soon as you get rid of the basketball, move without the ball and get to a wide open spot. You don't need to jack up a quick shot. As I mentioned, you have a long shot clock right now, and because they're playing into the hands of Rutgers of Newark, allowing offensive rebounds and taking quick shots, they are back down by 9 points with 17:05 to go here in the second half. As we resume action right now, Christina Heyer will inbound the basketball for Brooklyn College. They'll go from left to right. trailing 37-28, approaching 17 minutes to go here in the second half. Francomano setting up the offense, guarded by Simmons. It's a pick from Foster. Glenn goes outside to guard her, gets it over to Higher. Higher, tough defense, and now we have a foul. I believe it's on Ariana Williams. Yes, it's on Ariana Williams. And that will be her third personal foul. And it will be the second team foul on Rutgers of Newark this half. Too aggressive defensively right there. Inbound to Francomano, setting up the offense. Caught by Shala Glenn. Francomano setting it up, picks up the dribble, gets it over to Higher. Higher back to Francomano, straight away, crossing over. Goes to the left side, to the foul line. Goes outside to Higher. Higher, bounce pass to Megan Campbell inside. Picks up her dribble, gets it over to Higher. 15 on the shot clock. Higher driving inside to Foster. Lays it up with the glass, no. Gets her own rebound. Lays it up with the glass, way off. Coming up with the rebound is Megan Campbell. Lays it up and in. And now Brooklyn College with a second chance basket. 37-30. Rutgers of Newark. 6 points right now for Megan Campbell. No, 4 points for Megan Campbell. Maria Simmons setting up the offense. Simmons to the midcourt logo. Setting up the offense. Brooklyn College in the zone defense. Gets over to Glenn. Guarded closely by Francomano at the right side. Gets over to Williams. Back to Glenn. Over to Simmons. 12 on the shot clock. Simmons picks up her dribble. Gets it over to Williams to the left side. Gets it back over to Glenn. Gets it over to Glenn. Gets it over to Howard. Howard gets it back over to Simmons. No, to Glenn, Glenn driving inside. Inside, one on the shot clock off the back rim. No good. Rebound taken down by D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi gets to the Cole Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball at the court. Francomano to the right side. Pulls it back. Guarded by Glenn. It's over to Higher. Higher was wide open three-pointer. Off the back rim. No good. Rebound 4-4 taken down by Howard. Howard gets it over to number 1, Maria Simmons. Maria Simmons setting up the offense. 37-30, Rutgers of Newark, approaching 15 and a half to go in the first half. Goes inside to Howard. Howard lost out of bounds. He'll go right back over to the Brooklyn College Bulldogs as Rima Mann will check in for Asia Foster. Brooklyn College looking for some offensive firepower right now, trailing 37-30, approaching 15 and a half to go here in the second half.
Bulldogs got bailed out a little bit there. Howard had a good look on the baseline. Unfortunately, she was not able to handle the pass.
Francomano gets it over to Higher with the left side. Higher looking, gets it over to D'Ambrosi, gets it to the foul line to Campbell at the elbow. Campbell losing it, gets it over. It's not going to bounce. We'll stay right here with the Brooklyn College Bulldogs with 14 on the shot clock. As Sarah Shanderson will check in for Christina Higher. Christina Higher frustrated right now as she just tossed her warm-up. As Shanderson will inbound the basketball with 14 seconds on the shot clock. 37-30, Rutgers of Newark. 15-16 to go here in the second half. Francomano setting up the offense at the midcourt logo. Guarded by Simmons to the left side. Losing it, stolen away by Simmons. But Francomano steals it back. 5 on the shot clock. Francomano losing it. And yet it should have been a reset in the shot clock. There was no reset in the shot clock, and that's what the referees are negotiating right now because Simmons had control of the basketball. There was a change of possession, so now it'll go back to 30 seconds on the shot clock as the coach of Rutgers of Newark is upset about that play. But Brooklyn has 28 on the shot clock. I think that's the right call right there as there was a change of possession.
Yeah, I think he's trying to say that his team didn't have enough time with the possession to change up the shot clock. Officials disagreeing, saying that his team did have it. So fresh 30 for the Bulldogs.
Inbounds pass, not going to bounce by Lombard. And Brooklyn College will take the basketball out with 28 on the shot clock. Let's check into the basketball game is Cherie Gordon. She'll check in for Jasmine Lombard. 37-30, Rutgers of Newark. 15 minutes, 6 seconds to go here in the second half. Shanderson looking, had man wide open, didn't see her. Inbounds to Francomano with the midcourt logo, setting up the offense. Francomano setting it up, guarded by Simmons. Francomano still dribbling, gets it over to Shanderson, hands it off to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to man at the foul line. Inside to Campbell, lays it up wide open, no good! Rebound taken down by Gordon, gets it over to Howard. Howard to the midcourt logo, gets it over to Simmons. Simmons crosses the timeline. 37-30, Rutgers of Newark. 14:43 to go in the second half. Gets over to Howard. Howard bounce pass inside to Gordon. Losing it. Coming up with the steal is Rima Mann. Francomano pushing the ball at the court to the midcourt logo. Francomano inside to Campbell. Lays it up off the glass and in. Give the assist to Nicole Francomano. 6 points right now for Megan Campbell. Simmons pressured in the backcourt by Sarah Shanderson. Simmons gets it across the midcourt logo. Floaters up, no good. Air ball. Coming up with the rebound is Campbell. Gets it up to Nicole Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball at the court. It's over D'Ambrosi. A wide open three. It's up and in. It's now 37-35. Rutgers of Newark. 14 minutes, 7 seconds to go in the first half. 11 points for Vanessa D'Ambrosi. Inbounds pass goes to Maria Simmons. Brooklyn College pressuring. Simmons. Let's get outside to Jade Howard. Howard driving inside off the glass. We have a traveling violation on Jade Howard. Now Brooklyn College turning this game around. Now they're forcing turnovers.
Yeah, right now, Rutgers Newark is they're a little frustrated right now. They're not executing offensively these last couple possessions. They're making mistakes here that we haven't been seeing them make, and that's opened things up for the Bulldogs to get back in this game.
As Justine Vento will check in for Sarah Shanderson, and Jacqueline Grosso will check into the basketball game for Nicole Francomano, as Brooklyn College showing a lot of heart right now, trailing 37-35, just under 14 minutes to go here in the second half. Jacqueline Grosso just checked in from Francomano, setting up the offense, approaching the midcourt logo, guarded by Glenn. Guarded, gets it over to Justine Vento, gets it over to the left side to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi looking, starts her dribble, guarded by Simmons, picks up her dribble, gets it over to Grosso. Grosso, the left side, back to D'Ambrosi. Gets it back to Grosso, the left side. Grosso picks up her dribble. Gets over to Man. Man driving inside. Short jumper is up and in. And the game is now tied at 37. A 7-0 run for Brooklyn College. 4 points right now for Rima Man. They give it over to Williams. Williams gets it to Simmons. Simmons approaching the timeline. Guarded closely by Grosso. And now we have a timeout, a full timeout called by Rutgers of Newark. Brooklyn College on a 7-0 run. 37 all. 13 minutes, 19 seconds to go in the second half. We now have a ball game.
Yeah, I think it's a good timeout here by Coach Sosowski for Rutgers Newark. His team's really not executing right now. And a lot of things I'm seeing out of them right now is there's a lot of kind of chippiness at the officials on some of these possessions. Sometimes when you see that from a team, that's out of just basic frustration.
Yeah.
You know, you start blaming the officials for some of the mistakes. You're looking for every little call, trying to get something your way. So a good time out here to kind of sit them down and kind of get them to relax a little bit because they're not really executing offensively right now. The big thing for the Bulldogs, we talked about, they have a tendency to come back in games like this and they'll get a tie. They'll make it a 1-point game. We got a tie ball game right now. Brooklyn needs to get this momentum and keep it going so they can get a lead and get an even bigger lead as we get going in this game.
Yeah, right now Rutgers of Newark is not focused. As you mentioned, looking to the referees for calls. And in the first 6 minutes and 41 seconds of this half, they have turned the ball over 4 times, 11 turnovers for Rutgers of Newark, and that's led to points for Brooklyn College as we get set to resume action right now. Ariana Williams for Rutgers of Newark will inbound the basketball in the front court. Inbounds pass goes to Simmons with 20 on the shot clock. Simmons hands it off to Williams at the point guard position. Brooklyn College in his own defense. Gets it over to Simmons. Guarded closely by Vento. 13 on the shot clock. Gets it over to Glenn. Glenn gives it back to Simmons. 8 on the shot clock. Gives it back to Glenn. Back to Simmons. They're playing catch right now. And we have a foul on Justine Vento as Simmons drove to the basket. That'll be the first team foul on Brooklyn College here in the second half. And that'll be the first foul on Justine Vento, just checked into this basketball game. As Ariana Williams will inbound the basketball, and Nicole Francomano will check in for Justine Vento. And as the shot clock was down to 5, they'll get a fresh 30-second shot clock off that foul. Inbounds pass goes to Simmons, nearly stolen by Francomano. Simmons gets it over to Glenn. Glenn at the right side, picks up her dribble, gets it back to Simmons straight away. Gets it over to Gordon. Gordon gets it inside. Stolen away by Megan Campbell. Brooklyn College a chance to take the lead. Nicole Francomano pushing the ball up the court. Francomano gets it over to D'Ambrosi. Thought about a 3 driving. Gets it back out to Francomano. 20 on the shot clock straight away. It's over to Grosso for 3. It's on the back with no good. Offensive rebound knocked that away by Simmons. And it'll stay right here at Brooklyn College. It's a foul on Simmons. And that'll be the 3rd team foul on Brooklyn College. And that will be the first personal foul on Simmons in this game, as Simmons was a little too aggressive right there. Brooklyn College chance to take their first lead since 3-2. Inbounds pass is knocked away, stolen away, but it's off of Simmons, and will stay right here with Brooklyn College as she did not get possession of the ball as she went for that steal.
Simmons had a golden opportunity to steal. Unfortunately, she went up with one hand and wasn't able to control it. Then she knocked it out of bounds herself. Yeah,
that would have been huge right there. That would have been an easy layup. As Grosso is looking. Inbounds pass goes to Campbell. Gets it over to Francomano. Francomano driving to her left. Lays it up on the glass. No. Rebound 4-4. Coming up with the rebound is Williams. Williams slowly setting up this offense. The game is tied at 37. Just under 12.5 to go here in regulation. Setting up the offense right now, it's Williams. 20 on the shot clock. Gets to the right side to Simmons. Simmons looking. Gets it straight away to Glenn. Glenn gets to the left side to Williams. Gets it over to Simmons. Thought about a 3. Gets it over to Glenn. Traveling violation on Shala Glenn. Another turnover on Rutgers of Newark. They have 12 turnovers in this game. 5 turnovers here in the second half. As Grosso will inbound the basketball. Game is tied at 37. Approaching 12 minutes to go here in the second half. Francomano setting up the offense, guarded closely by Simmons. Francomano pulls it back out. Gets it over to Campbell at the midcourt logo. Campbell gets it over to Grosso at the left side. Grosso gets it over to D'Ambrosi straight away. Grasso gets a pick from Mann. She picks up her dribble, gets it over to Mann. We have a traveling violation on Vanessa D'Ambrosi. Good closeout right there by Ariana Williams. It's a rare turnover this half for Brooklyn College, who has yet to take the lead. They have not led in this game since it was 3-2.
And you can tell Rutgers is trying to keep the ball out of Frank Amano's hands and trying to keep the ball out of Megan Campbell's hands. They're guarding both of them tight, especially when they don't have the ball.
Yeah, those are two of their three top offensive players. As Ariana Williams gets it over to Simmons. Simmons setting up the offense, gets it over to Glenn. Gets it over to Williams to the left baseline. Gets it over, nearly stolen by Grasso. Gets it over to Glenn. Gets it over to Williams. Williams with 8 on the shot clock. It's a kick ball on Rima Mann, and they'll reset the shot clock as 7 be on the shot clock. Now they got to reset the shot clock to 15 as Asia Foster will check in for Rima Mann as Ariana Williams will inbound the basketball behind her own baskets. Looking. Inbounds pass, goes to Simmons, fakes the shot, driving inside, lays it up off the back rim, no good. Grasso gets the rebound for Brooklyn College. We have a possession arrow, and the ball go over to the Brooklyn College Bulldogs, and now Brooklyn College would get another chance to take the lead.
I think Coach Alex Lane was looking for a foul on that call. We've seen a lot of more kind of aggressive play out of Simmons, especially defensively. She's got to watch out to make sure she doesn't get into foul trouble.
Frank Amano has it stolen away by Simmons. Simmons is now fouled by Frank Amano off that steal. Good aggressive defense by Simmons, and now she'll go to the free throw line because of her aggressive defense on Frank Amano. That'll be the first foul on Nicole Frank Amano in this game, as she has played a clean game so far. As that'll be 2 free throws for the point guard, Maria Simmons. Simmons averaging 3 steals on the season as she takes a few dribbles, eyes the rim, free throw is up. It's off the front rim and in, and Rutgers of Newark regains the lead, 38-37. And there'll be one more free throw from Maria Simmons. That's the first point of this game from Maria Simmons. Simmons gets set, free throw is up. Off the front rim, no good. Rebound taken down by Foster. Foster gets it over to Nicole Francomano for Brooklyn College. Nicole Francomano pushing the ball at the court to the foul line. Gets it inside to Campbell. Campbell lays it up. No good, but she will get 2 free throws. Foul will be on Cherie Gordon. It'll be the 14th foul on Rutgers of Newark, the first personal foul on Cherie Gordon.
Yeah, and again, we're seeing Rutgers being very aggressive anytime Francomano's got the ball and anytime Campbell's got the ball. So hopefully they can take advantage of it just like they did there to get the ball to Megan Campbell so she can get to the free throw line.
Campbell's first free throw is up. It rolls in. The game is now tied at 38. Megan Campbell now has 7 points. She'll get one more free throw, a chance to give Brooklyn College their first lead since it was 3-2. Campbell gets set, eyes the rim. Free throw is up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Jade Howard. Hands it off to Simmons. The game is tied at 38. 11 minutes to go here in regulation. Simmons setting up the offense. Picks up a dribble. Gets it to the left side to Glenn. Glenn, guarded by Francomano. Gets it back over to Williams. Gets it to Glenn at the left side. To the baseline to Howard. Goes to the middle. Floater is up. Air ball. Coming up with the rebound is D'Ambrosi. Francomano pushing the ball up the court. Brooklyn College trying to take the lead once again. Picks up her dribble to Foster. Goes off Foster. Stolen away by Howard. Howard pushing the ball up the court. Gets it over to Glenn. Glenn against D'Ambrosi. Pulls it out. Gets it out to Williams. Williams straight away. Gets it back over to Glenn. Fakes the shot. Back to Williams straight away. Gets it over to Simmons at the right side. Back to Williams. Gets it to the foul line to Gordon. Over to Simmons. Simmons gets it back to Gordon. 11 on the shot clock. A wide open 3 for Williams. Off the side rim, no good. Rebound tracked down by D'Ambrosi from Brooklyn College. It's over to Foster. It's over to Francomano. Francomano to the midcourt logo. Tied at 38. Approaching 10 minutes to go in regulation. Francomano with the left side. Guarded by Simmons. Driving inside. Pulls it back out. Posting up. Floats it up. No good. Rebound is taken down by Simmons. Brooklyn College still can't take the lead. And setting up the offense right now is Simmons for Rutgers of Newark. 38-38, under 10 minutes to go here in the second half. It's over to Williams. Williams setting up the offense for Rutgers of Newark. 15 on the shot clock. Picks up her dribble. Gets it over to Simmons. Simmons straight away, 10 on the shot clock. Gets it over to Williams at the right side. Gets it over to Glenn at the left side. Gets it over to 3-pointer for Simmons. Wide open. No good offensive rebound. Howard. Howard lays it up and in. And now Rutgers of Newark leads 40-38. They regain the lead. 15 points right now for Jade Howard. Her first 2 points in the second half. And now Coach Alex Lang wants a timeout. And that'll be, what kind of timeout will it be? It will be full timeout. as right now Brooklyn College allowed yet another second chance basket on that possession.
Brooklyn's had a couple of golden opportunities to take the lead in this second half, and they have yet to capitalize on any of it, and especially on this last possession that Rutgers Newark had. Again, it was offensive rebounds creating second chance opportunities that is killing Brooklyn right now, because if those haven't happened here in the second half, we're talking about a completely different game. They did a good job of forcing Rutgers to take a shot that they probably didn't really want to take and really needed to grab that rebound. Unfortunately, Jade Howard pulled it down, and anytime your best offensive player gets an offensive rebound, they're going to get a good look, which she did, and she was able to knock it down.
Yeah, in these kind of close games, you got to do all the little things, and that comes to getting defensive rebounds and knocking down foul shots in these close games. You got to get rebounds, and as I always say, a defensive possession is not over until you get a defensive rebound. You got to rebound, and that's when you can start your offense. Until then, you're playing 30 more seconds of defense, and that will most likely tire you out. Both of these teams played games that went down to the wire yesterday, so neither of them want to give up offensive rebounds. Both teams have each given up 9 offensive rebounds here in this game. So you got to do the little things. And when you do the little things, as I mentioned a few seconds ago, it spares you a whole lot of energy. As we get set to resume action right here, Rutgers of Newark leads Brooklyn College 40 to 38. 9 minutes, 23 seconds to go here in the second half. Francomano setting up the offense right now. Rutgers of Newark trapping her in the corner. She crosses over, gets out of it. It's over to Grosso with the left side. To D'Ambrosi straight away, nearly stolen by Howard. Is it inside to Campbell. Campbell jumping from the foul line with the firm, no good. Rebound taken down by Simmons. Simmons pushing the ball at the court. Challenged by D'Ambrosi. Gives it to Howard. Lays it up off the glass. No good. Rebound taken down by Gordon, and she's fouled. Another offensive rebound I talked about. That is 10 offensive rebounds in this game for Rutgers of Newark. And now Cherie Gordon, off that offensive rebound, will get 2 free throws. Fouls on Megan Campbell. That is the third personal foul on her. And if they can get her in foul trouble, as I mentioned, that would be huge. As Gordon will get 2 free throws right now to try to extend this lead for Rutgers of Newark. Gordon takes one dribble, eyes the rim, takes another dribble. Gets set right here. Free throw is up. It rolls in. It's now 41-38, Rutgers of Newark. 9 minutes, 1 second to go here in the second half. As Gordon will get one more foul shot. Takes a couple of dribbles. She eyes the rim. Free throw is up. In and out, no good. Rebound taken down by D'Ambrosi for Brooklyn College. Francomano caught her closely by Simmons. Francomano pushing the ball up the course of the foul line. She's fouled by Simmons. She was too aggressive on that play. That'll be the 15th foul on Brooklyn College. The second personal foul on Maria Simmons. As Rima Mann from Brooklyn College will check into the basketball game. She'll check in for Megan Campbell, as Megan Campbell has 3 fouls right now. Let's see if Rima Mann can pick up the slack right now, as she has done the entire season. They really need her in this ECAC final. As Grosso looks. Inbounds it to D'Ambrosi at the right side. D'Ambrosi guarded closely by Williams. Gets it over to Francomano with the midcourt logo. Guarded by Simmons. 24 on the shot clock. At the left side, the left wing. Francomano gets it over to Grosso behind the three-point line. 20 on the shot clock. To Francomano. Fakes a 3. Drives to the foul line. Floater is up. It was partially blocked by Gordon. Coming up with the rebound is Howard. Gives it over to Simmons. Simmons pushing the ball at the court to the midcourt logo. Pulls it back out. 41-38, Rutgers of Newark. 8.5 to go in regulation. It's to the left side to Glenn. Glenn guarded by Grosso. Knocked away, but Williams comes up with it. Williams with 16 on the shot clock, setting up the offense. It's over to Glenn. Glenn driving inside. It's it over to Howard. Howard pulls it back out. 9 on the shot clock. Gets it over to Williams. Williams picks a 3-pointer. Driving baseline. Cut off by Foster. Gets it over to Gordon. 5 on the shot clock. Knocked away. 3 on the shot clock. Fighting for the ball. We have a possession arrow. And whose ball will it be? Who will they award the ball to? The ball will... Now they're going to put 1 second on the shot clock, and Rutgers of Newark will get the basketball out, but only have 1 second on the shot clock, as Megan Campbell and Christina Heyer will check in for Jacqueline Grosso and Asia Foster, as Rutgers of Newark will try to get a catch and shoot right here with just 1 on the shot clock, as Ariana Williams of Rutgers of Newark will inbound the basketball. Get set right here. A second on the shot clock.
Yeah, they're having to put another second onto the game clock as well.
So it would be 8 minutes, 8 seconds to go on the game clock, as Glenn will inbound the basketball for Rutgers of Newark right in front of our broadcast booth in the front court. Inbounds pass goes to Williams. Fires it up. It doesn't hit the rim. We have a 30-second shot clock violation on Rutgers of Newark. 41-38. Rutgers of Newark. 8 minutes, 5 seconds to go here in the second half. Francomano setting up the offense as we approach 8 minutes. Guarded by Simmons. Rutgers of Newark still in that slight trapping defense. It's over to Hire straight away. Hire looking. To D'Ambrosi straight away. Guarded by Williams. Gets it inside to Man. Man lays it up. No good, but she will get 2 free throws. That'll be the 16th foul on Rutgers of Newark. One more, and they will be in the penalty. And that foul will be charged to number 13, Cherie Gordon, her second personal foul. And Reba Mann will now get 2 free throws.
It's a good job by Mann by finding space and getting the ball and then attacking the rim, which helped draw the foul.
Mann gets set. Free throw is up. Off the front rim, no good. They are now 6 out of 11 from the foul line. They have missed, I believe it's been 3 free throws they missed this half. As Mann will get 1 more free throw. Takes a couple of dribbles. Eyes the rim. Free throw is up. No good. It's welcome back from an in. And checking into the game for Rutgers of Newark is Jasmine Lombard. She's checking for Cherie Gordon. 41-39, Rutgers of Newark. 7 minutes, 48 seconds to go here in regulation. Inbounds pass goes to Williams, guarded closely by Hire. Brooke picks up her dribble, gets over to Glenn. Glenn at the midcourt local, approaching the timeline. Stolen away by Hire. Francomano pushing the ball to the court. Francomano lays up with the glass at the end. And the game is now tied at 41. 10 points for Nicole Francomano. 41-41. 7.5 to go here in regulation. Stolen by Mann. Mann pushing the ball to the court. Lays it up with the glass at the end. And now Brooklyn College takes their first lead since it was 3-2. And now Rutgers of Newark wants a timeout. Good defense by Brooklyn College. It's a full charge timeout. Now Brooklyn College has taken a lead, their first lead since it was 3-2 early on in the first half.
And, we talked about maybe Brooklyn going to a full court press might be able to help them force their pace. That's what they did right here in these last couple possessions. They went to the 2-2-1 press, and twice it worked for them to not only, one time it was Francomano just doing a great job by herself defensively, knocking the ball loose and creating the turnover. Then, and the other time, she did a good job of forcing Rutgers to pick up the ball. Then they had to make a long, really dangerous pass, and that allowed Rima Mann to pick it off. And fortunately, they had numbers. They had a 3-on-2 situation, and Rima Mann took it right in between both defenders and put the ball in.
Yeah, that's what got them back into this game. Pressure defense, getting points off turnovers, and that is what has caused them. That has been the catalyst to them finally taking the lead here in the second half. They lead Rutgers of Newark in the ECAC final 43-41. 7 minutes, 19 seconds to go here in regulation. The strategy of Coach Lang is finally working. It took them about 7 possessions to finally take the lead. They've had about 4 straight possessions or 5 straight possessions in which they failed to take the lead, but now they're finally back on top. Let's see how Rutgers of Newark responds. They struggled in the second half, in particular in the half-court offense. Let's see what happens here as Brooklyn College, to nobody's surprise, will stay with this full-court pressure. As Shala Glenn will inbound the basketball. Brooklyn College leading 43-41. Inbounds pass goes to Williams. Pressure by Francomano. Picks up a dribble. Gets it over to Simmons. Simmons guarded closely by Francomano. Approaching the timeline. Crosses the timeline. Crosses over to the foul line. Floater is up. Off the rim and in. Good response from Rutgers of Newark. The game is tied at 43. Now we have a foul on Maria Simmons as she pressured Francomano. That foul will be on. Actually, the foul will be on to Jasmine Lombard, actually. That'll be the second personal foul on Jasmine Lombard. Fouls away from the play, actually. I didn't see what the foul was on Jasmine Lombard. I thought it would have been on Simmons. They changed it back to Maria Simmons. It appeared it was going to be Lombard, but they make the right call and change it back to Maria Simmons. That's her third foul, by the way. As that's a 17th foul on Rutgers of Newark, so the first free throw for 1-1 is good. And Francomano, because of that make, will give herself another chance from the free throw line.
Biggest thing, Simmons did not have a personal foul in the first half. So all 3 of these fouls have come in the second half, and it's because she's been trying to play a little too aggressively against Francomano.
As the second free throw is in and out, no good. Brooklyn College regains the lead, 44-43. 7 minutes to go here in regulation. Simmons setting up the offense. Brooklyn College in his own. Picked up her dribble, gets to the right side to Williams. Williams looking, gets it over to Simmons. Knocked out of bounds by Rima Mann. It'll be Rutgers of Newark ball. They'll inbound with 17 on the shot clock, trailing 44-33. As Cherie Gordon will check into the basketball game for Shala Glenn for Rutgers of Newark. They trail 44-43, 6 minutes, 51 seconds to go in the second half, as Ariana Williams will inbound the basketball with 17 on the shot clock. Inbounds pass goes to Simmons. Brooklyn College in his own defense. Simmons straight away picked up her dribble. Gets it over to Williams. Williams looking. Gets it over to the left side to Howard. We have a reaching foul on Rima Mann. That'll be a 14th foul on Brooklyn College. It'll be the second personal foul on Rima Mann. And it'll be a side out, a fresh 30-second shot clock for Rutgers of Newark. Mann a little too aggressive on that foul right there. Inbounds pass goes over to Gordon. Gordon goes inside to Lombard. Lombard spinning inside. And we have a traveling violation on Jasmine Lombard. Another turnover on Rutgers of Newark. That is their 17th turnover in this game. Brooklyn College looking to take the lead even more to extend their lead as they lead by 1, approaching 6.5 to go here in the second half. Francomano gets to the left side to D'Ambrosi. Back to Francomano. Francomano straight away picks up her dribble. It's over to Higher. Higher gets it over to D'Ambrosi. Gets it over to Campbell. Campbell baseline jumper is up. It's good. And now Brooklyn College has a 46-43 lead. 6 minutes 15 seconds to go in the second half. 9 points for Megan Campbell. Gets it over to Williams. Williams to the front court. Gets it over to Simmons. Simmons gets it back over to Williams. Williams with 18 on the shot clock, setting up the offense. 6 minutes to go in regulation. Brooklyn College leads by 3. Simmons driving inside, lays it up off the glass. No! Coming up with the rebound is D'Ambrosi. Hands it off to Nicole Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball to the court. Francomano to the foul line. Campbell, a baseline jumper. Off the side rim, no good. Man, the offensive rebound. Outside to Higher. Higher driving inside, gets to the Nicole Francomano. Campbell, foul line jumper. It's good! And Brooklyn College takes their largest lead in the game. 48-43. 5.5 to go here in the second half. Going up the court is Williams. Williams guarded by Higher at the right side. Picks up a dribble. Gets it over to Gordon. Gets it over to Simmons. Simmons guarded by Francomano. 15 on the shot clock. 5:20 to go in the second half. Gets it over to Gordon. It's over to Williams. A wide open 3. Off the front rim, no good. Rebound taken down by Simmons. Stripped away. Stolen away by Higher. Higher pushing the ball at the court. Higher to the foul line. Gets over to D'Ambrosi at the baseline. To Francomano behind the 3-point line. To Higher, a wide open 3. In and out, no good. Rebound taken down by D'Ambrosi. Offensive rebound. And a new 30 for Brooklyn College. Outside to Higher. Gives it over to Francomano as she says to regroup. Gets it over to Higher at the left side. Back to Francomano at the midcourt logo. Francomano gets a pick from Mann. Driving, floater is up. Air ball. Coming up with the rebound is Howard. Gives it to Simmons. We have a blocking foul on Christina Higher. That'll be the third personal foul on Christina Higher, the 15th foul on Brooklyn College, as this game has really turned, as Shala Glenn will check into the basketball game for Rutgers of Newark. She'll check in for Jasmine Lombard, and Asia Foster will check in for Rima Mann. And we have a 30-second timeout called by Rutgers of Newark, as Brooklyn College has really responded here in the second half, leading 48-43, 4 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the ECAC Women's Final.
And, you know, the biggest thing has been, I think, the switch to that press, because it's really kind of taken Rutgers Newark out of the game that they're really wanting to play, and it's really been able to get Brooklyn College to force some turnovers and get out in transition. That's where these big shots are coming from. And, you know, even if they're not knocking down the first shot, they're able to get offensive rebounds. All of this is done, and it gets the defense out of position. When the defense is not in position, that's when you're going to be able to take advantage of open shots, and that's what Brooklyn's been able to do on this last run that they've got.
Yeah, Brooklyn College changing up their defense, and it's leading to great offense. Chrissy Hires coming up with steals. Nicole Francomano's coming up with steals. And it's leading to points in transition, or points in the half court off turnovers nonetheless. As we resume action right here, inbound to Maria Simmons. Rutgers of Newark going from right to left. Still in the backcourt, 24 on the shot clock. Maria Simmons to the midcourt logo. Gets it over to Glenn at the left side. Glenn crossing over, guarded by Hire. 15 on the shot clock. Picks up her dribble. Gets over to Simmons at the right side. Brooklyn College in his own defense. Gets it over to the left side to Williams. Williams thought about a jumper, pulls it out, guarded by Foster. 5 on the shot clock. They got to do something. It's over to Simmons. Simmons, it's over to Glenn. 2 on the shot clock. Jumper for Williams is up. It's good. It's a 3-pointer for Ariana Williams. A big shot right there. Her third 3-pointer. 9 points for Williams. And now we have a foul on Maria Simmons. Another foul on her. That is the fourth foul
on Maria Simmons, as she was once again too aggressive on Nicole Francomano, and it appears anytime she's too aggressive on her, they're going to call that every time. The 8th team foul on Rutgers of Newark here in the second half. As we have a timeout, a 30-second timeout called by Coach Alex Lang. Brooklyn College leading Rutgers of Newark 48-46 with 4 minutes and 2 seconds to go here in regulation.
That's going to be a big foul on Simmons, because we talked about how that's 4 fouls, and all of them have come in the second half. And the problem is, when you get a couple of fouls like that being called, it's a hard thing to kind of stop doing. And if towards the stretch here, you know, if you don't have someone like Simmons in the game for Rutgers, she's been huge for them defensively. She's also, you know, she also runs the point for them, which is really kind of a big thing to lose if she happens to pick up that 5th foul late in this game. If you lose your main point guard, that's really going to hurt you in being able to run your offense.
Yeah, she really sets up their offense. She is the floor general right now for them, Maria Simmons is. Because Ariana Williams, watching her play, she seems like more of a shooting guard. So I don't really see her setting up the offense as well as Maria Simmons has, as Nicole Francomano will go to the free throw line, and she was fouled violently by Maria Simmons. Francomano, front end of a 1-and-1 is off the front rim, no good. Rebound, fought for, coming up with it. We have a possession arrow, and we'll stay right here with the Brooklyn College Bulldogs. They'll have the ball with 27 on the shot clock. 3 minutes, 58 seconds to go here in the second half. They get a fresh 30-second shot clock, 3:58 to go in the second half. They lead Rutgers of Newark 48-46. As Christina Heyer will inbound the basketball behind her own baskets. Looking, still looking. Inbounds to D'Ambrosio. Shoots a three-pointer. Off the side rim, no good. Rebound fought for. Coming up with it is Glenn of Rutgers of Newark. Glenn pushing the ball up the court. Glenn to the midcourt logo. Knocked away. And we have a foul on Christina Heyer as she went for that steal. I didn't see a foul right there. I thought it was all ball. But it's a foul on Christina Heyer, her 4th personal foul. And that'll be the 16th foul on Brooklyn College. So Rutgers of Newark will take the basketball out with 3:49 to go in the second half, trailing 48-46. As Ariana Williams will inbound the basketball right now on the front court. Inbounds pass, goes to Simmons. Simmons gives it over to Williams. Williams gives it over to Glenn, straight away, guarded by Heyer. Gives it over to the right side to Williams. Williams thought about a 3. Picks up her dribble, gets over to Glenn at the foul line. Glenn driving inside. We have an offensive foul as Glenn just ran over Christina Heyer. That'll be the 4th personal foul on Shala Glenn and the 19th foul on Rutgers of Newark. It's an offensive foul, so it will just be a side out for Brooklyn College as Rima Mann will check into the basketball game for Brooklyn College. And Asia Foster will check out. Inbounds pass goes to Megan Campbell. Campbell dribbling the basketball, goes up the court to D'Ambrosio. D'Ambrosio challenging Glenn, pulls it out though. Gets it over, it's knocked out of bounds by Jade Howard, and we'll stay right here with Brooklyn College with 22 on the shot clock. Brooklyn College leads Rutgers of Newark 48-46. 3 minutes, 28 seconds to go here in the second half. As Heyer looking to inbound behind her own baskets. Heyer inbounds to Francomano with the right side in the corner. Francomano driving baseline, trips, and she is fouled. That's the 10th team foul on Rutgers of Newark. Foul will be on number 12. That will be on, it'll be on Ariana Williams. That'll be her 4th personal foul. As I mentioned, the 10th team foul on Rutgers of Newark. As Francomano will try to extend this lead, as Rutgers of Newark has been really aggressive here in the second half. As Francomano free throw is up, it's good. Francomano now has 12 points in this game, and she'll get one more foul shot.
Rutgers Newark now running into a lot of foul troubles. This is going to be a problem if they start fouling to try to get the ball back.
Free throw is up, no good off the front of the rim. Rebound taken down by Glenn. Hands it off to Williams. 49-46 Brooklyn College. 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go here in regulation. Williams setting up the offense at the right side. Picks up her dribble. Gets it over to Simmons at the midcourt logo. Simmons picks it up. Gets it inside to Howard. Howard has it knocked away. Stolen away by Megan Campbell. Campbell gets it over to Francomano. Knocked away by Howard. Fighting for the ball. They have a possession arrow. And who will they give the ball to? They will give the ball to Rutgers of Newark. Good effort by Jade Howard fighting Francomano as they'll get the ball back. They trail 49-46. 3 minutes to go in the second half as Asia Foster will check into the basketball game for Rima Mann for Brooklyn College. As inbounding the basketball is Maria Simmons behind her own basket. A fresh 30-second shot clock for Rutgers of Newark. Maria Simmons, as I mentioned, will inbound the basketball. Getting set right here. Looking. Inbounds pass. Goes to Williams. A wide open three. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound 4-4. Howard comes up with it. Lays it up. No. Rebound 4-4. Coming up with it is Foster. Foster is thrown to the ground. We have a foul on Rutgers of Newark. It's another foul on them as Foster is in pain right now. Remember, that shoulder was bothering her this year, but she appears to be okay right now. But she's grimacing right now as she heads over. That'll be the 5th personal foul on Simmons. She's fouled out the basketball game. Simmons, 5 fouls. All of those 5 fouls coming in the second half. And now Rutgers of Newark loses their point guard. Simmons cannot believe it, as that is a huge loss right there. Simmons is furious right now, as is Bill Zizowski, the coach of Rutgers of Newark, as that was obviously a foul right there. She just threw Asia Foster to the ground. Maybe they thought it was a foul on someone else, but Simmons was in the vicinity, and they will call that every time. Simmons just not smart with her defense here in the second half. They lose their point guard, as I mentioned, as checking into the game is Jade Lombard for Rutgers of Newark. They did not need that right there, as going to the free throw line is Asia Foster. Simmons just too aggressive here in the second half, as I mentioned, and her afternoon is done. As Foster will go to the free throw line, she'll get 2 foul shots. Free throw is up. It's good, and Brooklyn College extends its lead to 50-46 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in regulation. Asia Foster will get 1 more foul shot. Free throw is up. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound 4-4. Coming up with the rebound is Lombard. Hands it off to Williams. Rutgers of Newark going from right to left. 2:43 to go here in the second half. Williams approaching the timeline, crosses the timeline. Guarded by Heyer. Picks up her dribble. Gets it over to Lombard. Lombard driving inside. Lays down with the glass. No. Rebound is taken down by Campbell of Brooklyn College. Brooklyn College with a 4-point lead with 2.5 to go here in the second half. Francomano setting up the offense. Guarded by Glenn. Francomano to the right side. Yo-yoing with the right hand. 15 on the shot clock. Francomano pulls it back out. Crossing over. It's over to Heyer at the left side. Way behind the 3-point line. 10 on the shot clock. Campbell. A wide open 3. Off the front row, no good. Rebound tracked down by Gordon. Hands it off to Glenn. Over to Williams. 2 minutes to go in regulation. Brooklyn College leading Rutgers of Newark by 4 points. Williams setting up the offense. Picks up her dribble. Gets it over to Glenn straight away. Glenn gets it over to Williams at the left side. Gets it over to Gordon at the left baseline. Gets it over to Williams. Williams with 8 on the shot clock. Gets it over to Gordon. Gets it back over to Williams. 5 on the shot clock. Driving to the foul line. Glenn, a long 2-pointer. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound 4-4. Coming up with it is Howard, a new 30 for Rutgers of Newark. Foul line jumper for Williams is up. Off the back rim, no good. Offensive rebound, Glenn. And we have a foul on Brooklyn College. That'll be the 17th foul on Brooklyn College. Fouls on Megan Campbell. It will be her 4th personal foul. And now it'll be a 1-and-1 for Rutgers of Newark as Brooklyn College failed to rebound. And now Rima Mann will check in for Asia Foster right now as Shala Glenn will go to the free throw line trying to answer on a 1-and-1 situation. As Glenn will try to make some huge free throws right now. 1:28 to go. Rutgers of Newark trails by 4 points. Glenn takes a few dribbles, eyes the rim, free throw is up, it's good. And now she earns herself a 2nd foul shot. Glenn has 4 points in this game. And now Bill Zawolski of Rutgers of Newark wants a timeout right now. Let's see what kind of timeout it will be. It'll be a full timeout for Rutgers of Newark. And now it's crunch time here at the West Quad Gymnasium, here at the ECAC final. Brooklyn College, that I talked about, has to rebound the basketball. It's the reason why Shala Glenn is at the free throw line. A chance to cut the lead to 2 points right now. And had Brooklyn College rebounded, they would have a chance to make this a 6-point game for them.
Yeah, the offensive rebounds is really what's hurting the Bulldogs. It hasn't really been that many, but the problem is they're coming in really key situations.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Brooklyn will do a really good job defensively and force Rutgers to put up a shot they don't want, but unfortunately, they're not rebounding the ball when they need it. You know, these have all been really key situations that these offensive rebounds have come down to Rutgers Newark. If Brooklyn can kind of slow that down. Also, the big thing is going to be knocking down free throws, because you got to imagine we're at about 1.5 minutes left in regulation right now. Brooklyn's got a 3-point lead. Rutgers is going to the free throw line. At some point here, you're probably going to see Rutgers Newark start fouling, start trying to get something to get the ball back. But the big thing is, they're also probably going to press a lot. They did that. They started doing the last couple possessions. What they're going to try to do is they're going to try to get a turnover in the full court before the ball gets to the timeline. After that, we'll see how they go. They'll probably still got at least one more possession of just playing regular defense before they have to start fouling. But the first couple times, probably look for them to try to force a turnover, maybe foul after the ball gets across the half-court line.
Yeah, and when they foul, it's what I've talked about. Brooklyn College has to do the little things. They got to make the free throws when they have them. And speaking of free throws, Shala Glenn of Rutgers of Newark has one more foul shots. One more foul shot, 50-47, Brooklyn College. A minute 28 to go here in regulation. Glenn will get one more foul shot. Free throw is up. No good. And Rima Mann of Brooklyn College tracks down the rebound. Hands it off to Francomano. Francomano wisely, slowly setting up this offense. And she's guarded right now by Jade Howard. Approached by Ariana Williams. We have a timeout called by Coach Alex Lang. And what kind of a timeout it will be? It will be a full timeout for Brooklyn College. Let's see what Coach Alex Lang would draw up. What do you think he'll draw up right now as they have the ball with 20 seconds on the shot clock?
Well, I think what he was doing right there is he was looking to see what kind of defense Rutgers was going to go back into. That's why he called the timeout. The other thing is you can kind of hear Rutgers' coach. He was trying to yell at him to do the defense he was setting up. What they were looking to do right there is trap as soon as the ball got across half court and really trap them right in the corner. That's what Coach Lang was looking to see what they wanted to do defensively. Now that he's seen that, he's probably going to look to keep some players cross court, look to maybe set up someone on the other side of the court for a long pass across it, or even maybe down at the baseline, because they're going to look to create that trap right at half court. So you've got to free up some space right there. You're going to want to put players at all of the corners because you want to spread out the other remaining three defenders as much as possible and find that open defender. You've also got to make a smart pass because they're going to try to create a force, or they're going to try to force a steal off the first pass. That's why you set up a trap, especially like this. You want to create a quick turnover. So smart passes for the Bulldogs are going to be key on this possession right here.
Yes, Brooklyn College on the verge, on the cusp of their first ECAC crown. They've been to 6 of them, 6 years in a row, and they're trying to finally get over the hump, trying to finally win an ECAC tournament as DM Brosier of Brooklyn College will inbound the ball in the front court. Inbounds pass goes to Chrissy Heyer in the backcourt. Inbounds to Francomano. Francomano nearly a backcourt violation. Over to Mann at the left baseline. 13 on the shot clock. Gets it over to Francomano. Francomano guarded closely by McKinnon, who just checked in. Gets it over to Heyer. 6 on the shot clock. Heyer driving inside. Inside stolen away by McKinnon, who just checked in. Hands it off to Williams. Under a minute to go. Brooklyn College leads 50-47. That's Williams. Approaches the midcourt logo with 20 on the shot clock. Brooklyn College still in that zone defense. Hands off to McKinnon. And now we have a timeout called by Rutgers of Newark. And we'll see what kind of timeout it is. They call a timeout with 17 on the shot clock. It will be a full charge timeout, as probably the same thing that Coach Alex Lang did. They're trying to see what kind of defense. Brooklyn College is known to be a 30-second timeout. They changed it. They're going to try to see what kind of defense Brooklyn College is running right now.
Well, I think one of the things was, too, you saw kind of Rutgers having a little bit of miscommunication there offensively. They were trying to get Shayla Glenn to actually run the half-court offense, but she wasn't running to get the ball. Finally, she did, but at that point is when their coach called a timeout, because you can tell when there's any kind of miscommunication right there offensively, especially this late in the game, you want to settle things down. You want to bring everybody in and make sure everybody is on the same page. So that was one of the big problems there, why he had to call a timeout, is that they had an offense ready to run, but there was some miscommunication over what they were doing. So you got to bring everyone together and make sure everyone's on the same page.
As Brooklyn College leads 50-47, 17 seconds on the shot clock, 47.7 to go in regulation. Inbounds pass goes to McKinnon for Rutgers of Newark. Gets it over to Williams on the right side, back to McKinnon. Gets it over to Glenn, 10 on the shot clock, 40 seconds on the game clock. Gets it over to Williams on the right side. Goes to Gordon at the foul line. Jumper over Campbell is up off the back rim. Rebounded by Francomano, but stolen away by Howard. Howard gets it over to Williams at the right baseline. Gets it over to Howard. Howard to Williams for 3. The game is tied at 50 with 24 seconds to go. Another 3-pointer for Ariana Williams. her fourth three-pointer. At 19 seconds to go in regulation. Game is tied at 50. Frank Amato setting up the offense right now at the midcourt logo. Guarded by Glenn. 10 seconds to go. Over to Frank Amato straight away. 8 seconds to go. Frank Amato at the left side. 5 seconds. Over to D'Ambrosio. D'Ambrosio driving. Pulls it out. 2 seconds. She's a three. It's in and out. No good. And we're going to overtime. D'Ambrosio had it off the glass. Halfway down and out. And we have overtime here in the ECAC finals. Oh, man, it was so close right there. Even Brock's reaction was priceless. That three-point shot was off the glass in the cylinder and just spat back out. Wow.
I tell you what, she didn't have the greatest look on it, but I don't think you can have a ball come as close to going in without actually going in. And she went right off the bank. It hit kind of that inside of the front rim, which normally can go back in, but you get just that wrong spin of the basket. It hit the back rim, and that's when it shot off. So a good look by D'Ambrosio, as good a look as they were going to get. But now, here's going to be the big thing going into overtime. You've already got Maria Simmons, who's fouled out, so she's not going to be available for this next 5 minutes. For Brooklyn College, you've got Megan Campbell, Chrissy Heyer, both with 4 personal fouls. For Rutgers Newark, Shayla Glenn and Ariana Williams all have 4 fouls. So foul trouble is going to be the big thing for this game. But also, think about this. Rutgers Newark has 10 team fouls already, so Brooklyn College starts overtime in the double bonus. Brooklyn College, though, with only 17 fouls. So Rutgers Newark is just in the 1-and-1 bonus to start overtime. So, and now, this is 2 overtime games back-to-back, Saturday and Sunday for Rutgers Newark. They have got to try to hang on. You got to hope adrenaline gets them through this overtime period.
Yes, another overtime game for Rutgers Newark here in this ECAC tournament. They beat CSI 81-75 in overtime yesterday afternoon, and they have another overtime game as we get set to begin the overtime right here. Megan Campbell will jump against Jade Howard. As we get set right here, the referee waiting, tied at 50. We have an extra session, and what a steal that was by Jade Howard to set up that three-pointer by Ariana Williams. If she didn't get that steal from Frank Amano, they would have been shooting free throws, leading by 3 points. Brooklyn College would have. But now we have an overtime. So we get set. The ball's in the air. Tip is controlled by Brooklyn College. Tap to Frank Amano. Frank Amano gets to D'Ambrosio. Fakes a three-pointer in the corner to Frank Amano. Setting up the offense, guarded by Glenn. Game is tied at 50. 4 minutes, 48 seconds to go here in the overtime. It's over to D'Ambrosio. D'Ambrosio to the left side. It's over to Frank Amano, also the left side. Gets it over to Frank Amano. To Campbell. Back to Frank Amano. Frank Amano to the foul line. It's over to D'Ambrosio. D'Ambrosio, a wide open three. It's good. And now she knocks down that one. And now Brooklyn College takes a 53-50 lead. 14 points of D'Ambrosio. 4.5 to go here in overtime. Give it over to Glenn. Glenn gives it back to Williams. Williams gives it back to Glenn. Crosses the timeline. Gives it back to Williams. Williams with the midcourt logo, setting up the offense. 17 on the shot clock. Williams gives it over to Howard. Howard at the foul line. Foul line jumper is up. Big shot by Howard. It's good. Howard's been quiet in the second half. Only 4 points in the second half. She now has 17 points. Brooklyn College leads Rutgers of Newark 53-52. 4 minutes to go here in the overtime. Frank Amano setting up the offense. Gives it to D'Ambrosio. It's over to Heyer at the left side. Heyer guarded closely by Williams. Gets it over to Frank Amano. Tearing the shot clock. Gives it over to Heyer. Heyer gives it over to Campbell at the foul line. One dribble. Jumper is up. Off the back rim. No good. Rebound full for coming up with it is Williams. Williams approaching the timeline. 53-52. Brooklyn College. 3:38 to go here in overtime. Williams picks up a dribble. Gets it over to Glenn. Glenn gives it back to Williams. Gets it over to McKinnon at the right side. Back to Williams. Gives it over. Knocked away. Stolen away by Frank Amano. Frank Amano pushing the ball up the court to the midcourt logo. Challenged by Glenn. Get it over to D'Ambrosio. A three-pointer. It's good. 2 huge three-pointers for Vanessa D'Ambrosio here in this overtime. And Brooklyn College now leads Rutgers 56-52. 3:10 to go here in overtime. Approaching 3 minutes. Williams setting up the offense. Brooklyn College in that zone defense. Gives it over to Glenn. Glenn gives it back over to Howard at the foul line. Spinning inside. Puts it up off the back rim and in. 2 big baskets from D'Ambrosio and Jade Howard here in this overtime. 56-54 Brooklyn College. 2:50 to go here in overtime. Frank Amano setting up the offense. 2:45 to go. guarded by Williams. Gives it over to D'Ambrosio at the midcourt logo. Gives it over to Higher. Setting it up. Gives it over to Francomano. Town the shot clock. Gives it over to Higher. Inside to Campbell. Campbell posting up. Out to Higher. A straight on wide open three. In and out, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds by Asia Foster. It'll go over to Rutgers of Newark. 56-54 Brooklyn College. 2:26 to go here in overtime as Rima Mann will check in for Asia Foster. It's the final game of the ECAC Women's Division III Metro Tournament. Brooklyn College up by 2. Who wants it more? Inbounds pass goes to Glenn. It goes up to Gordon at the midcourt logo. Picked up a dribble. Nearly stolen by Higher. Gives it over to Williams. Gives it to McKinnon. Back to Williams at the right side. Back to McKinnon. Gives it over to Glenn. Driving inside. Bounce pass to Howard. Lays it up. Fouled by Campbell. And that could be the 5th foul on Megan Campbell. If it is, she's fouled out. Is it on Campbell? Yes, that's 5 on Megan Campbell. And Campbell has fouled out this basketball game. She finishes the game with 11 points. So before she leaves Brooklyn College, they have other pieces. They still have Nicole Francomano, who is their point guard, who's done a great job setting up the offense here in the second half. And that is the end of Megan Campbell's Brooklyn College career, as she is a senior.
And again, we talked about how early in the first half they kept trying to get the ball to Jade Howard in that half-court offense, and that's what they've done here to start overtime. Yeah. And it's really kind of been working, but Brooklyn, we heard them a couple times. They got a turnover once because they're kind of sitting back trying to make sure she doesn't get the ball. When they tried forcing it to her, that's when they were able to knock the ball loose and get the steal. But now they're doing a better job of moving her around and getting her open, and that's how she's gotten the ball the last couple times.
Jade Howard putting Rutgers on her back right now. Free throw is up. Way off the front rim, no good. They did not need that right there as Brooklyn College maintains a 56-54 second overtime lead with 2:09 to go. Second free throw is up. It rolls around, no good. Rebound D'Ambrosio, 2 huge misses from the foul line from Jade Howard. Gets it over to D'Ambrosio. A wide open three. Off the front rim, no good. Man, the offensive rebound, lays it up and in. It is now 58-54. Brooklyn College under 2 minutes to go here in overtime. Williams looking. Inbounds pass to Glenn. Glenn bounce pass to Williams in the backcourt. Glenn picks up a dribble, gives it over to Glenn. Crosses the timeline. Guarded by Higher. Gives it back to Williams straight away. Approaching a minute 35 to go here in overtime. Glenn picks up a dribble. Gives it over to Gordon. Bounce pass inside. Stolen away by Asia Foster. Hands it off to Francomano. Brooklyn College with a 4-point lead. A minute 25 to go here in overtime. Francomano driving inside. Has been knocked out of the bounce. It's off Francomano. That's the right call. It'll go over to Rutgers of Newark as the turnover was forced by Cherie Gordon. As Jasmine Lombard will check into the basketball game for Adasia McKinnon for Rutgers of Newark. A big possession for Rutgers of Newark, trailing by 4 points. A minute 20 to go here in overtime. Williams setting up the offense. Gives it over to Glenn at the midcourt logo. Guarded closer by Higher. By Francomano, spins off. Gives it over to Williams. Gives it over to Gordon. Gives it over to Howard. Puts it up. No. Tries to draw a foul. Coming up with it is Gordon. Gives it over to Williams. He's over to Glenn. 8 on the shot clock. Driving to the basket is Glenn. Inside to Lombard. Lays it up and in. A big basket right there as they got a second chance. Lead is now cut to 2. 58-56 Brooklyn College. 53 seconds to go in overtime. So full timeout. And now Coach Alex Lang will draw up the best play right here as it has been such a great game in the second half and in the overtime. Back and forth action. Every time Brooklyn College looked like they would pull away, Rutgers of Newark comes up with its turnover and they score. They just cannot put them away. They lead by 2 points, 53 and 3/10 seconds to go here in the ECAC final here in overtime.
And one of the things that happened on that last possession for Brooklyn College, you saw Asia Foster almost able to draw a charge. They decided to let it go. They decided it was a no call. They let the game play. When they got the ball back, she tried doing it again. Unfortunately, she stepped out and forgot her defensive responsibility to cover Jasmine Lombard. And that's what freed up Lombard to have a wide-open layup right underneath the basket. Asia Foster's got to understand where the person she's guarding is at, because when she went for that charge, it opened things up for Lombard. You can't let that happen, especially with about a minute left, less than a minute left now. You've got to realize where you're most needed defensively.
Yeah, you can't commit those. I know you're good at drawing charges and stuff, but you cannot try to do that right now. As in this situation, the referees are just going to let them play. It's the ECAC final. We're in overtime. It's been a hard-fought game. Just let them play in those bang-bang situations, and the referees are doing exactly that right now as Brooklyn College will inbound the basketball, leading 58, 56, 53, and 3/10 seconds to go here in overtime. Francomano across the timeline, setting up the offense. 45 seconds to go. Gets it over to D'Ambrosio at the right side to Francomano. Over to Hire at the left side. Back to Francomano. 15 on the shot clock. Guarded by Williams. Gets it over to D'Ambrosio. Back to Francomano. Francomano driving inside. D'Ambrosio wide open three. It's good! It's the third three-pointer for Vanessa D'Ambrosio in the overtime. 20 points for Vanessa D'Ambrosio. She has really rose to the occasion here in the overtime. Brooklyn College leads by 5. 25 seconds to go. Gets it over to Glenn. 22 on the game clock. 21 on the shot clock. Gets it over to Gordon. Gordon at the foul line. Gets it over to Glenn. Gets it over to Williams. 14 on the shot clock. Forced up a three. Air ball. Coming up with a knock out of bounds. It'll stay right here with Rutgers of Newark with 10 on the shot clock and only 9.8 to go here in the overtime. 61-56 Brooklyn College as we have a timeout call by Rutgers of Newark. Brooklyn College on the verge of winning the 2015 ECAC tournament. It's a full timeout call by Rutgers of Newark. D'Ambrosio has been so clutch here in this overtime, hitting three-pointer after three-pointer. After missing the three-pointer that would have won the game in regulation, she has hit 3 big three-pointers here in this overtime.
Huge play by the senior D'Ambrosio here. I mean, she's had a great ECAC tournament so far, and I tell you what, she's coming up clutch here in overtime. It's been a huge boost for the Bulldogs. Now we're talking a situation with a 5-point game, a double 2-possession game, only 9.8 seconds left. There's 10 on the shot clock, so the shot clock basically has gone away. So now Rutgers Newark has to knock down a shot right here. What look for them to do is maybe get it to Williams to maybe knock her hit a quick three-pointer, because she's really their only three-point threat. If they don't go to Williams, they're going to have to get it to Howard quickly, because they're going to have to knock down her shot quickly, and then they're going to have to foul almost immediately. So also, you're going to have to see both Williams and Glenn have to get away from the ball, because they have 4 fouls. Yeah. They cannot afford, especially Williams, who's their only three-point threat. They cannot afford for her to get her 5th foul to go out of this game.
Yeah, and they lost Maria Simmons in regulation, and Williams, as you mentioned, their only three-point shooter. She shoots at 30%, and that is the highest percentage from three-point range on this team. Inbounds pass. Goes over, knocked away. Fight for it. Coming up with it is Williams, forcing up a three. Way off. 6 seconds to go. Laying it up is Lombard, cutting the lead to 3 with 4.3 seconds left. 61-53 Brooklyn College. It'll be Brooklyn College ball. Coach Alex Lang wants a timeout right now, as will be a full over 30. It'll be a full timeout call by Coach Alex Lang, as right now the play is obvious. Rutgers of Newark will go for a steal. If they don't get the steal, they will foul right away, as they cannot pick and choose who they want to foul at this moment. There's just not enough time here in the overtime.
Yeah, if you're Brooklyn, you want to set up your best free throw shooters to get the ball right now, because with only 4.3 seconds left, Rutgers Newark doesn't have time to mess around. They've got to get a foul immediately. They've got to go after the ball as soon as it gets inbounded. If you create a steal, great. If not, you got to hit the arm to force a foul. Brooklyn's had a little bit of struggles in the second half with shooting free throws, which is going to be key. So you've got to make sure that your best free throw shooters are getting the ball. You're probably going to have to set up at least a screen. You probably find 2 of your better ones, screen for each other, and see where the defense goes to flash the other one up.
Yeah, you got to think really fast right now. Brooklyn College on the verge of winning the 2015 ECAC Women's Division III Metro Tournament. They played so well in the second half as well as the overtime. D'Ambrosio has just been huge here in this overtime, hitting 3 big three-pointers here in the overtime. As I mentioned, she missed a three-pointer that would have won the game in regulation, and she was really determined to hit those three-pointers in the overtime. As she didn't have the best look, but it was halfway down and out. And she's had the mindset that I am not missing another three-pointer here in this overtime. If I'm wide open, Rutgers of Newark is going to have to pay, and pay they did. 3 big three-pointers, 20 points for Vanessa D'Ambrosi here in this game. Inbounding the basketball is D'Ambrosi. 4 seconds to go. Inbounds pass goes to Heyer, and Heyer is fouled immediately. It'll be on Shala Glenn. That'll be her 5th foul, and she will foul out this game. So she finishes the game with 3 points. It's the 5th foul on Shala Glenn. So Heyer will try to make this a 2-possession game. That's the second player on the Rutgers of Newark to be, as they call, disqualified. Maria Simmons and Shala Glenn have fouled out this game, and Chrissy Heyer will try to make this a 2-possession game with 3 seconds left. We'll try to put the ECAC on ice. As Asia Foster goes to the scores table for Brooklyn College. She'll check in after this free throw. Heyer gets set. Free throw is up. It's good! And Brooklyn College makes it a 2-possession game, 62-58. Asia Foster checks in for Jacqueline Grasso. And right now, one more free throw coming for Christina Heyer. Free throw is up. It gets quiet here. It's up. It's good. Brooklyn College has put the ECAC on ice. They are the 2015 ECAC Division III Metro North champions. Congratulations to them. A good way for their 7 seniors to go out. Coach Alex Lang with an amazing strategy in the second half and the overtime. As D'Ambrosi took over, players stepped up, and Brooklyn College, unlikely, knocks off a team from New Jersey. A great win for them. Just clutch basket after clutch basket. Great job by Brooklyn College maintaining their poise. Even as Megan Campbell fouled out, other players stepped up. Christina Heyer stepped up. Frank Amano did an amazing job setting up the offense in this game. As now we'll have an interview. Brock Myers will interview Vanessa D'Ambrosi. Take it away.
All right, thanks a lot, Adam. Here with Vanessa D'Ambrosi. Vanessa had a shot at the end of regulation to finish it. Didn't go in, but you made up for it in overtime. What was the key in knocking down those big shots in OT?
I just wanted this game. The whole team wanted this game, and I just had to make it happen.
You end your career ECAC champions, first time in program history. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. It's been great being a part of this program.
All right, thanks a lot, Vanessa.
Yes, that was Brock Myers with Vanessa D'Ambrosi. And after missing that three-pointer that would have won the game in regulation, she said precisely what I was thinking. She did not want to lose this game. Every chance she had to hit a wide-open three-pointer, she was not going to miss that shot. She was going to make Rutgers of Newark pay every time they left her wide open. As I mentioned, they paid 3 big three-pointers. And D'Ambrosi, after a slow start to the regular season from the three-point line, has really heated up from the three-point line as the season progressed. Started the season at 27%, and now is at about a 33% clip. What a way for her to end her Brooklyn College career after missing the entire season last year with an ACL injury. Coming back this year, being the ultimate hero in overtime, hitting three-pointer after big three-pointer. What a story for her. A great way for the 7 seniors on Brooklyn College to end their Brooklyn College careers. Jacqueline Grasso, Sarah Shanderson, Nicole Francomano did a great job setting up this offense. Brooklyn College did a great job in this game. Brock, any final thoughts?
You know, well, what we're going to do right now is that they're going to have a quick presentation. We're going to hope to get Alex Lang after they do this trophy presentation.
Yes.
But, I mean, first and foremost, you got to give your hats off to Rutgers Newark. They did a great job of battling in this game and being able to come back and force overtime. You know, a lot of teams, they probably, after they had the kind of trailing late in regulation, they probably would have gone down. But give them credit. They battled back and they were able to force overtime. And, you know, sometimes, again, we talked about the big part of them going to overtime last time. When you do that in back-to-back nights, it's always tough. But credit them for forcing the overtime and getting in there. And, you know, there's not much you can do when Vanessa D'Ambrosi is knocking down three-pointers, because that was huge for the Bulldogs. If she hadn't done that, this could have been a completely different ball game.
Yeah, Brooklyn College with a great sense of resiliency here in the overtime. After Williams hit that three-pointer to force overtime, they kept their head. They did not get discouraged. They hit big shot after big shot, and now we have the ceremony as Rutgers of Newark will get the runner-up trophy right now as they fell to Brooklyn by 5 points. Right now it's Cherie Gordon and Jade Howard accepting the trophy, getting a picture right now. Their picture taken at the midcourt logo. Right now, Brooklyn College, the great winners, they'll be introduced in a few minutes, a few moments here. They finished this game really strongly. Great sense of resiliency here in the overtime. I just cannot say enough about their fights, as now they're introduced by the public address announcer. Congratulations to them. 2015 ECAC Women's Metro North Division III champions, your Brooklyn College Bulldogs. As they approach the midcourt logo to the tune, the very old tune, "We are the champions. We are the champions." As they get the trophy right now at the midcourt logo, and they will get their picture taken in a few minutes. The ECAC championship picture, as Brock Myers mentioned a few minutes ago, their first ECAC title. They've been here 6 times, and finally they get over the hump. Finally, they reach the summits. They win the ECAC title. 2015 ECAC champion, your Brooklyn College Bulldogs. Congratulations to them.
And, it's got to be great for these 7 seniors. Yes. It's been 3 years in a row that the Brooklyn Bulldogs, the Lady Bulldogs, have made it to the finals of the ECAC. The first 2 times, they weren't able to close it out. But now, these 7 seniors getting a third opportunity, getting another chance to finish out, and they're finally able to do it. It's got to feel great. You could hear, Vanessa D'Ambrosi. We got it real quick. You could tell she wanted to go celebrate with her team. She wasn't too concerned about the interview. But, a great effort by all 7 seniors, all 7 of them playing key roles in making this championship happen. And I like the move by the underclassmen. When they first presented the trophy, they let the 7 seniors go out and grab the trophy and let them kind of have that moment. And then Coach Lang told the whole team to get out there. But it's a great moment to let the seniors have this moment for them. And it's a great job and really a testament to these 7 players and how big they've been to this program.
Yeah, they really deserve it. After yet another heartbreaking loss in the CUNYAC final to Baruch, they showed great resiliency in that sense as well. And I think that's the key to this Brooklyn College team, a team that has 7 seniors, a few sophomores, a few juniors. The key word is resiliency. All the times they lost in the CUNYAC final, all the times they lost in the ECAC tournament, they showed great resiliency coming back. And Vanessa D'Ambrosi, I believe, is the most valuable player of the ECAC tournament. Very well deserved. As I mentioned, hitting big shot after big shot. Well deserved. D'Ambrosi, the best player here in the ECAC Division III women's tournaments.
Yeah, she had 2 huge games, and I tell you what, if it wasn't for Vanessa D'Ambrosi, I don't think Brooklyn College wins this tournament.
Yeah.
So very well deserved that she gets the MVP award.
Yes.
She absolutely earned it.
Yes, well deserved. It's a team effort. As I mentioned, guys had to step up, and everybody stepped up in every way they could. Rebounding, scoring, passing. Every way they could step up, they stepped up. And they are so eager to celebrate, and rightfully so. We have yet to get Coach Alex Lang right now as he's celebrating with his seniors especially. They've been through so many failures together, as we have Megan Campbell going into the stands, most likely going to talk to her family right now, getting a big hug from her family. She has played so well for Brooklyn College in her 4 years here. Just a great 4 years she has had for Brooklyn College. She has played so well, and right now we will finally get Brock Myers with Coach Alex Lang. Brock, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Adam, here with Coach Lang. They like to say, Coach, 3rd time's a charm. I guess it worked out for you this time. How's it feel?
Yeah, we've been in this game 3 years in a row now, the ECAC Championship. It's a fun tournament to play in. Obviously, we wanted to win it once we got in it, and it's a great feeling today. It was a tough, hard-fought game, overtime, obviously. Both teams made runs. Looked like we were going to win the overtime. The regulation, and the girl hit the 3. Tough shot. So it was a great game.
Vanessa D'Ambrosi gets the MVP award. She was huge in overtime. Talk about her contributions, not only in this game and the tournament, but what she's meant for this program.
She's a great player. You don't find many players like her. She plays hard all the time, shoots the heck out of the ball. She's strong. Great player. It's going to be hard to replace her as a senior. So
you send 7 seniors off with an ECAC tournament victory. How does it feel to send what these 7 players have meant for this team? How does it feel sending them off with a win?
It's great. I mean, it's great. It's something we've never done before, is win an ECAC championship. So to win it, it's a great thing. To win a championship is a great thing. Obviously, we had our eyes set on the conference championship, but we didn't get a chance to do that. Fell in the championship game, but bounced back for this tournament. Played great tonight.
All right, Coach. Congratulations. Go enjoy this one.
Yes,
Take it back to you, Adam.
That was Brock Myers with Coach Alex Lang, and a great win for Brooklyn College. A great way to send off the 7 seniors as we get ready to sign off right now. For Brock Myers, I am Adam Lockley saying so long from the West Quad Gymnasium and the ECAC Women's Tournament. Congratulations to the Brooklyn College Bulldogs, their first ECAC title.